I'm gonna go on record, this is a bad idea. PDing this. This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we discuss the enduring mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. I'll be Mackey's music world, which is seemingly a normal Kentucky bar. It's actually a portal to hell. We're about to etch ourselves in the stone of Bigfoot lore. You have any idea what happened in there? Let's just say that some brutal murders happened in there that would lend itself to being haunted. Let's get into it. I
got a little spoiler for you. Everything in the building is gonna look like this.
Oh my God. And I guess this is where we're fucking sleeping because we're idiots.
How are you feeling? Are you nervous?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. I got that familiar knot that's usually in my stomach when I go to these places. I've seen this one on several shows before and always thought there's no way in hell I'm gonna go there. So we are approaching Waverly.
The look of this building is so imposing. I'm surprised you're conscious right now.
I'm keeping it together for now. There's a good chance tonight is the night you see me die on camera.
It kind of looks like a castle.
It kind of looks like hell.
It looks like Hogwarts.
There's not one part of you that's like, oh man, I'm really in for it now.
I mean, I don't...
What in the fuck is that?
It's just a big metal thing. That's not a ghost, that's metal.
Jesus Christ, dude.
But I think we should let them know that we're entering, you know, just give them a quick, hey ghouls! The boys are here!
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we explore Waverly Hills Sanatorium as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real? As with most places we investigate, it doesn't have the most pleasant history, making it one of the most haunted places in the world. And as you can see, this is the place where nightmares are made. I mean, look at that.
It's very dark. It's a dark hallway.
I just don't get any of this. I don't understand.
I know.
Okay. Well, let's break down the history for Mr. Robot over here.
Please.
On July 26, 1910, Waverly Hills Sanatorium opened to treat patients of tuberculosis. On October 17, 1926, a bigger version of Waverly Hills that we are now sitting in tonight opened to accommodate the overflow of patients from the tuberculosis epidemic. The hospital is 5 stories tall and was built on a quiet space atop a hill where it was thought that patients would be at peace and receive lots of fresh air. Most importantly, it would keep the patients quarantined far away from crowded areas. Fuck me. I feel awful right now.
Looks like one of the Conjuring films. I got a little spoiler for you. Everything in the building is gonna look like this.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We've really done it now, haven't we?
Yeah, we've done it now.
Let's provide a little background on tuberculosis. Tuberculosis, also known as TB, or the White Plague, is a bacterial infection contracted by breathing in air containing Mycobacterium tuberculosis. The bacteria could eat away at the lungs and overall claimed roughly 2 billion lives in total, billed as, quote, the plague of all plagues, end quote.
I'm glad we're done with that.
Yeah, that was a rough time in history.
Just everybody died from it. I feel like in every movie about a period before 1940 or something, there's a part in the movie where someone coughs and everybody looks at him.
And there's blood on the handkerchief.
And there's blood on the handkerchief.
He tucks it in his jacket real quick.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Around the turn of the 20th century, tuberculosis ran rampant in the warm, wet weather of Kentucky, and the demand for treatment necessitated a facility like Waverly Hills Sanatorium. It could accommodate up to 500 patients. Unfortunately, not all the treatment was effective. According to owner Tina Mattingly, Waverly also used electroshock therapy to treat patients whose tuberculosis spread to the brain.
The electroshock therapy is on the first floor, what we call the morgue wing. And electroshock is where they performed on the patients that got tuberculosis of the brain. Probably didn't help them, I'm sure, but they didn't know what else to do.
There's a little theater in here.
Yeah, it's set up because sometimes they put stuff on for Halloween, but this is the room. Do you feel strange?
No.
Let me sit down on this couch.
Oof. It's filthy.
Yeah, well, we're gonna be sleeping on the ground later, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
I think the ground is cleaner than this couch.
It's pretty dusty. Are my butt cheeks now?
Yeah, that's a perfect butt print. You got your 2 pockets there.
Oh, look at that, the 2 pockets and everything.
Rambergar's butt. Someone will come here in a week and they'll be like, it's a good ghost butt. A lot of you were probably very unhappy here. It seems like a room where they were doing a lot of medical things that maybe you didn't enjoy. If you're here, we're gonna be real quiet right now. Maybe make some noise. Okay, here we go. Shockingly, I'm not really hearing anything. This is the biggest upset. I did not see this coming.
Interestingly enough, due to the fact that tuberculosis is highly contagious, Waverly Hills was largely self-sufficient. They grew their own food, raised animals, had a post office, etc. Basically, once you went to Waverly Hills, whether you were a patient, nurse, or doctor, you were no longer part of the outside world. Eventually, a vaccine was made readily available for tuberculosis, and Waverly Hills closed its doors in 1961. It's been debated how many died within its walls before doing so. Current co-owner Tita Mattingly has claimed the number is approximately in the tens of thousands, but nobody can know for sure. Regardless, death was so common that the hospital actually contains a horrifying area nicknamed the Body Chute, a tunnel used to dispose of dead bodies out of eyesight from the other patients. The tunnel is roughly 500 feet long and leads down the hill.
If I were staying here, I wouldn't want to be watching them shuttle bodies through the hall all day.
Like, oh, where's Pete? Down the chute.
They shooted him.
They shooted him. That's fucked up.
Pete done got shooted. Is that the body
I
chute?
think this is the body chute.
Well, let's take a look.
Oh my God, this is awful.
Now this is the nightmare.
Oh no, 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 no. No. You have gotta be fucking Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
This is like Satan's cement butthole.
Oh my God, dude.
Holy shit.
Oh my God. How far does this go? Are we going to hell?
Let's find out.
If there's anybody down here that maybe hated this tunnel,
This is a witch hole.
let us know. Make your presence known. Preferably now and not when we get to the bottom of this tunnel. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It looks like there's a soccer ball at the bottom.
Well, that's good.
Oh my God, are you serious?
What is that? The wind?
I don't know.
It just went woo.
I don't know what the fuck that was. It was some weird whoop noise.
What if I go up there and you stay down here and we turn our lights off and see if we hear anything?
What if you go fuck yourself? How about that? How long am I staying down here?
A minute.
A minute?
Yeah.
Fuck. All right.
3.
Lights off in 3,
2, 1.
1. Oh God. Oh, no, no, no. I hate this.
This is sort of beautiful.
I didn't even get to do all the things on my bucket list.
Shut up.
You shut up.
Did you hear that?
Is it a minute yet? Please tell me it's been a minute. Hello?
Okay, it's been a minute.
I needed that. Get me the fuck out of here. I'm leaving. Goodbye, ghost at the bottom. I'm gonna imagine that place is the closest thing to hell.
Not really, because there's no malice there. It's just dead people. It's people who died of a disease and they...
You gotta imagine when their like soul is out and they're watching it get dragged like a World War II victim down this creepy, dingy tunnel is not the thing that you would like to see.
What do you want them to do, like carry him out on a golden velvet couch?
I'm just saying it's an uncomfortable place.
How dare they dispose of my body? They should leave it in the
I'm just
hallway to
saying-
rot.
The spirits of the countless who died here are said to now haunt this facility, making Waverly Hills Sanatorium potentially one of the most haunted places in the world. That being said, let's get into some of the reports of paranormal activity. Visitors often claim they hear the sound of children's laughter. Slamming doors are said to be a common occurrence. Some insist faces have appeared in windows to rooms that are unoccupied and in photos where nobody was standing. Waverly Hills is also famous for its reports of shadow people. which are shadowy figures that people claim to see all over the hospital.
If you look down this hallway long enough, your eyes are gonna look at that darkness, and eventually you start to see movement in darkness. When there's nothing there, your eyes sort of fill the void.
Yeah, I got the chills even just thinking about it.
So have you ever heard that old thing about when you look at your face in the mirror in low light and eventually it sort of looks demonic? And look it up, it's a thing on the internet.
Who are you pointing to?
All the Shaniacs out there.
Shaniacs! I hate you. Aside from general reports, there are specific areas of this former hospital that we should discuss and investigate in detail. For obvious reasons, the morgue on the first floor is reportedly an area of heightened activity. Supposedly, this is one of the more active rooms in this whole joint. You feel any strange feelings right now?
I'm cold. Yeah, it's a morgue. I'd feel stranger if there were actual dead bodies in here.
Well, I mean,
right
these
now.
are accurate autopsy tables from the time. These are real.
Yeah, I see that.
Jesus Christ. Moving to the third floor, a homeless man and his dog supposedly fell down the elevator shaft when the building was vacant, and co-owner Tina Mattingly, as well as many others, claimed to have seen the ghost of both the man and the dog.
One night after I had a tour going on, and I was walking down the hallway, and I saw a very tall man, tall, thin, long hair, turned my snake light on up like this and clicked it on. He just wasn't there. Well, at that point, I'm a little nervous, and I start to walk down the hall, and I'm kind of looking around to see if I'd be backed into a room or something. And then I see a dog laying in the floor. It was a white dog. It looked like a small white German Shepherd. And I started, calling to the dog, try to get it up and get it to moving, and it didn't. And then all of a sudden, I didn't see it disappear. I didn't see it get up and walk away. It just wasn't there anymore.
It's also speculated that the man did not accidentally fall down the shaft, but that he was pushed. But I mean, at least he went out with his, best friend, I suppose.
They pushed the dog too?
Oh, Jesus Christ, I didn't even think about that. Maybe he was like holding the dog on the, we're not gonna think of the logistics of
Even
this.
if I'm holding a dog and someone pushes me, I'm gonna let go of the leash, or I'm not gonna be like, yeah, you're coming with me. Coward, taking your dog to dive with you.
What are you doing? This is the worst thing you could possibly do.
Put your hand in there further.
It's pretty, I don't want him to grab my hand. What if he grabs my hand and takes the zoom?
Well, then we have proof of a ghost.
No, it's just gonna be you saying you dropped it, oh, you dropped it.
Put your hand all the way in there. There you go.
I don't like that.
Do it, Ryan. What are you, what?
Drop the zoom.
You didn't drop it.
I know. Okay, to the man in the elevator, if you were pushed down this elevator, make a noise. If you fell down this elevator, make a noise. I'm just gonna ask you, maybe you'll say it, maybe I'll hear it later. What? Ah!
What the fuck is wrong with you? What?
It was this. Okay, it felt like someone doing this.
You've got a thing, man.
I swear.
Also,
This is why I didn't want to do it, because I knew you weren't gonna believe me. This is bullshit.
It's also very breezy here, so yeah, if you felt
Well,
a
why
breeze,
did
it's highly likely that it was
If that was you,
a breeze.
please don't do that again.
We'd like some confirmation that it was you. Please do it again.
No, don't listen to him. Oh God, I hated that. Let's get the fuck away from this elevator shaft. There are reports of an apparition draped in a white doctor's coat being seen. One ghost hunter claims he saw the man disappear into a treatment room on the 4th floor. Also on this floor is a room that used to be the nurse's waiting room, a place where owner Tina Mattingly came across evidence of a full-bodied apparition.
We were on the 4th floor, me and another girl that comes here every year. She's the one that's always taking all the pictures and stuff. She has a really nice camera. And she was snapping pictures, and all of a sudden I hear her just going crazy, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like, turn around, I'm like, what? She goes, you wouldn't believe what I got.
She said she saw her standing right here. God, that'd be scary.
It's kind of grainy because I took a picture of her camera and she never could send me the original.
It does look like a full-bodied apparition.
That doesn't give you the chills.
Well, I mean...
On the 3rd floor, there are reports of a little boy named Timmy who likes to play with a blue rubber ball. All right, Timmy. My name's Ryan. This is my pal Shane.
Hi, Tim.
I hear you like balls. No, wait.
Will we do a retake on that one? That had to be intentional.
I swear to God, I'm not doing this on purpose.
I mean, this is a bit.
No,
right?
it's not a fucking bit. I'm sorry. I'm gonna bounce my ball. See, it's a bouncy ball. You like that? I like it. Wanna play? Oh, fuck.
You want to play? Why you sound threatening?
I know.
You want to play? Let's fucking play.
Timmy, I'm very scared, but if you could throw this ball back, I won't be as scared.
Oh my God, that's the biggest lie I've ever heard.
All right, Timmy, I'm throwing the ball down. You ready? All right. Oh my God. No. Dude, there's like... Oh, thank God. I think we're good.
It bounced a few extra times, though. Did you hear that?
Do you think it bounced? I thought it bounced a couple extra times, but I thought it was just my mind playing tricks on me.
It sounded like it stopped and then it bounced a little more.
Oh my God. No. Dude, there's like...
I don't know if that means ghost, but...
Let's walk down there and find the ball.
That's the most serious I've ever seen you. Let's walk down there and find the ball.
All right, Timmy, we're coming to get the ball. I don't know where it went. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Do you want the flashlight right now? Oh, there it is.
No way.
Oh!
Oh, no! Oh, no, 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 no.
Ryan, the ball bounced.
No, the ball stopped here. How the fuck is that possible?
The ball stopped right here.
How is that possible? Oh, no.
They know. Ryan, they know.
Shut up, dude. You know this is fucking weird. Shut up.
Ball came right into this hallway.
I don't know what the odds are, Timmy, that my ball would land right next to my name down there that I didn't know existed. I'm gonna roll the ball one more time, Timmy. We're coming over, Timmy. Where did this thing go?
I think it's one of the...
Oh, it's right there in the middle.
Oh, perfect. Now that's a good throw, Ryan.
I mean, that's exactly how I threw it last time.
No, it wasn't exactly.
Yes, it was.
No.
It's like directly in the middle of the floor.
So you think because it's in the middle now, it was moved before?
Yeah, that's exactly what I think.
I don't know.
You don't think it's odd that it stopped in the middle and then before it went into the room by my name?
But it also stopped at the I love pot graffiti, so maybe this ghost just lives to blaze it.
It's rumored that patients whose infection spread to the brain, rendering them insane, were sent to the 5th floor. So let's make the journey upward. All right, this is the floor I'm really not stoked to go on. One room in particular on this floor that is arguably the most active and definitely the most controversial is room 502. It's the famous 502. And I guess this is where we're fucking sleeping because we're idiots. And this is what we like to do. Room 502 has a reputation due to the 2 suicides that supposedly occurred there. One story has it that in 1932, a nurse jumped to her death from the 5th floor patio near room 502, though others believe she was actually pushed. Right around here is probably where she jumped off. The second nurse to die here.
That's a hell of a fall.
That'll do it.
I mean, if she was 5 feet or taller, a good gust could just knock her over. Because even when I was looking over there.
The other suicide reportedly occurred 4 years earlier in 1928 when nurse Mary Hillenberg hung herself just outside room 502. Another theory is that Mary got pregnant by one of the doctors, and when he tried to perform an abortion, she died and the suicide was staged. So according to Tina, here's 502, they found the nurse hanging right around here. So if we were to sleep in this area,
Oh, that's right. That's right where it happened.
we would be sleeping right where it happened.
I could tell you some stories about the 5th floor.
Oh, sure, let's hear
I've
them.
had guys, people for security reasons, stay up on the 5th floor in tents. And they had things hit their tents all night long. You hear kids giggling and stuff.
Oh, that's fun. Cool. That's
Yeah.
where we're gonna be sleeping.
So you have fun
Awesome.
with that. I've been here almost 16 years and I've never done it.
Well, that's good that we're gonna, really tee
Yeah,
that
you're
off.
gonna do something that I've never done.
Awesome.
Go big or go home. Well, this place, I realized, is different for a number of reasons. One, if we were at the Sally house, it's like, oh, run out the front door. Whereas here,
You're like trapped.
yeah, we're on the roof, more or less.
Oh my God, did you hear that?
No. What are you talking about?
Are you serious? You didn't hear that?
I didn't hear anything.
I heard a whisper.
No, you didn't hear a whisper.
I swear to God, I heard a whisper.
You know, there's a lot of wind moving around right now.
Nope.
What did the whisper say?
I don't know.
Sure it wasn't just a car in the distance?
No, it sounded like someone saying something. Oh man, am I just freaking myself out again? You swear you didn't hear it? It made my hair stand up.
Just go to sleep.
No, I don't want to.
Hello? Oh, you can't even see me. It's so dark in here because I'm going to sleep.
Shane's next to me. He's asleep. Or I may have just woken him up, but I don't really care. Literally, like, 6 feet away from me, a lady hung herself.
Ryan, why are you doing this to yourself?
I asked myself that a lot, too. I don't understand why I do these things. Shane, how are you? I thought you were asleep.
I don't remember. I think I was asleep when you called Helen in the first place, because I woke up and I heard a voice, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
You've been asleep for 45 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Oh, did Shane think I was a ghost?
Yeah.
Shane also thinks it was a coincidence that the ball landed under Ryan. What do you think?
I think Timmy wants to be your friend.
Well, that was a sleepless night. Let's go check in on Mr. Shane.
His location is cleared.
Well,
Time to go!
it's been real. You still have an opportunity here. Golden moment to seize glory. You hear that, ghost? That's Ryan Bergara 1, Waverly Hills Sanatorium 0. How does that feel?
You fucking wimps.
Is Waverly Hills Sanatorium haunted? It remains. Actually, do you think this place is haunted?
No.
I think it is.
Okay.
Due to the countless deaths that occurred within its walls, it's no surprise to me that many report this once busy hospital is haunted.
There's the demon hole. Goodbye. Body shoot.
And although nothing we experienced tonight changes that reputation in my mind, whether or not Waverly Hills Sanatorium is definitively haunted will remain unsolved. This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we discuss the enduring mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. What is it? Is it real? Only one way to find out. Any thoughts going in before?
I love airplanes. I bet there's a lot of airplanes in this one.
Oh, there's a whole lot of airplanes.
Hell
If you're a fan of
yeah.
airplanes, I got news for you. This is gonna be a great day.
Sign me up.
The Bermuda Triangle is an area of the Atlantic Ocean roughly bounded by Miami, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda. Though its actual range is debated, some estimate it covers between 500,000 to 1 million square miles.
I guess I thought it was further north.
Are you about to beautiful mind this, or? I don't know what you're...
Put some graphics over there.
There's a glaze that's come over your eyes. I don't know what's... The term Bermuda Triangle actually didn't come into use until 1964, when it was coined by Vincent Gaddis for a cover story for Argosy magazine. It was used to describe an area where there seemed to be an uncommon amount of disappearances of ships and planes. According to Time magazine, between 1946 and 1991 alone, there were over 100 disappearances of ships and planes in the Bermuda Triangle.
Quick thought. Is it annoying that I hold this pen?
Oh, yeah,
like
it's
this?
really annoying.
Well, it's here now, forever. You got your paper. I'm sitting over here just twiddling my thumbs. It's nice to have a little
Well,
pen.
I think your douche meter's usually at half mast. Right now, it's about
Oof.
3/4 full.
Through the roof.
Through the roof.
The douche roof. Shane douche roof Madej.
That being said, let's discuss some of the more mysterious incidents in the Bermuda Triangle. Allegedly, the first recorded account was made by none other than Christopher Columbus during his famous journey to discover America.
Oh, he discovered it all right. Just to be fair, fuck Christopher Columbus.
While in the Bermuda Triangle, Columbus, along with crew, noted a variety of odd occurrences. The ship's compass began malfunctioning. There were mysterious lights over the water. The sea was rougher than it had been the entire voyage.
Oh, the sea's choppy here. Must be haunted.
That's not what I'm saying.
You're saying this ocean's full of ghosts.
I'm saying it was,
get
no, I did not say that. I just said that, what are you taking notes over there? This isn't a debate, or it kind of is. Ryan is an idiot. You proud of yourself? And at one point, he may have even seen a fireball fly through the sky and crash into the sea. Let's jump forward closer to modern times. Keep in mind, All of the events we will discuss were followed by failed rescue attempts. On March 4th, 1918, the USS Cyclops, one of the Navy's largest fuel ships at the time, disappeared somewhere north of Barbados. One of the more chilling details is the fact that the captain never sent out a distress signal, and nobody aboard answered any of the calls from the hundreds of ships that were reportedly in the vicinity, as the USS Cyclops seemingly drifted out of existence. You don't think that's strange? It was one of the Navy's largest fuel ships. That doesn't just disappear.
Doesn't sink.
I mean, maybe.
The Titanic, she was a mighty one.
I suppose, but there was
She's
also
lying at the bottom.
But there was also a lot of like, oh, we're drowning, help us kind of thing.
I don't know. Ships sink, you know.
Okay. On December 28th, 1948, a Douglas Dakota DC-3 airplane carrying 26 people disappeared 50 miles from its destination in Florida. After the flight sent out its final radio call to indicate its nearby position, it was never heard from again.
Honestly, this one, these don't do much for me because
They don't do much for you.
planes crash, boats sink.
They literally radioed in, like, I read it was 20 minutes away from the airport.
Yeah, and then a goose flew into the propeller and they just fucking nosedived.
Into where?
The ocean.
In October 1951, a ship called the Southern Districts disappeared after being seen near the Bermuda Triangle. 4 years later, in 1955, the only piece of evidence in regards to the ship's whereabouts was discovered on the Florida coast, a life preserver, eerily bearing the missing ship's name. On December 22, 1967, a 23-foot cabin cruiser called the Witchcraft, which was built to be virtually unsinkable, disappeared along with its 2 passengers, one of whom was an experienced sailor named Dan Barak. The boat sported a flotation device in the hull that should have allowed part of the Witchcraft to remain afloat, even if the boat was filled with water. About a mile out from Miami Beach, Barak called the Coast Guard after hitting something in the water and requested a tow back to shore. Barak was reportedly calm in the call, nor did he say his boat was sinking. However, when the Coast Guard arrived, Barak, his passenger, and the Witchcraft were nowhere to be found and never seen again. Many wonder how 2 men aboard an unsinkable ship equipped with life jackets, floatable seat cushions, and flares could go missing, let alone the ship itself.
So what are you positing here, that it's in an alternate dimension?
Some of these, they actually sent out parts of the Navy. The whole 9 yards. They sent everyone out. Nothing is found.
I'm gonna need some documentation on this.
Documentation. Look up the stories. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna look them up. What else disappeared?
Just like,
You're seething.
I can't believe you think this is not weird.
I can't believe you don't think that boats sink.
The last and arguably most famous encounter we'll discuss is the story of Flight 19. On December 5th, 1945, 5 military TBM Avenger torpedo bombers departed Fort Lauderdale, Florida at roughly 2:10 p.m. on a routine training mission. Supports say that the planes had been checked before the mission and the weather was supposed to be favorable. Also significant is the durability of the TBM Avengers they were piloting, which were nicknamed Iron Birds on account of their rugged design and their propensity for holding up in battle. Known as Flight 19, the 5 TBM Avenger airplanes carried 14 men, led by instructor Lieutenant Charles Taylor. Shortly after completing their training mission, Lieutenant Taylor became lost in the area now known as the Bermuda Triangle. Since this was an era before GPS, Taylor and his pilots relied heavily on compasses, both of which were malfunctioning. An emergency transmission sent by one of the pilots was picked up by a control tower.
We can't find west. Everything is wrong. We can't be sure of any direction. Everything looks strange. Even the ocean.
Everything looks strange.
Okay, wait a second here. Hold the phones. Okay, before you said there was the only thing was missing here was the actual transmission. I just gave you the transmission. You don't think that's strange now?
Certainly, it's a strange case.
About 20 minutes later, the pilot sent Flight 19's last transmission, his voice allegedly distressed. Quote,
We can't make out anything. We think we may be about 225 miles northeast of base. It looks like we're entering white water. We're completely lost.
Several minutes after the last transmission, a PBM Mariner flying boat took off on a rescue mission. That boat would radio the control tower once, before also vanishing.
Choppy. Choppy out there. Are you bracing yourself?
After a widespread search attempt failed, the Navy's final report of the incident allegedly concludes, quote, "We are not even able to make a good guess as to what happened," end quote.
That's the Navy saying that. Not me, that's the fucking Navy saying that.
I gotcha. So the Navy, it's inconclusive.
Now that we've discussed some of the incidents, let's go over some of the theories as to what the Bermuda Triangle actually is. The first theory is that the Bermuda Triangle is not an area of the supernatural, but rather a naturally dangerous place for sailing. Most hurricanes and other tropical storms in the Atlantic pass through the Bermuda Triangle. Storms and unpredictable atmospheric conditions can cause phenomena such as waterspouts, which look like water tornadoes. The Bermuda Triangle also has some of the deepest underwater trenches within it, so wreckage could have potentially fallen far beneath the ocean's surface. Finally, scientific research shows that there is no evidence that disappearances happen more frequently in the Bermuda Triangle than any other part of the ocean.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
That doesn't explain how it's happening in high concentration in the one small
High
area.
concentration, it's 1 million square miles.
In comparison to the ocean, that's a small area.
All right, yeah, 1 million square miles, tiny.
The second theory is that the Bermuda Triangle is home to a magnetic phenomenon. It's been proven to be a place where true north and magnetic north line up. Some research indicates that this may affect compass readings. Some science also indicates that the lightning during storms may further affect or intensify the magnetic fields, which could account for compass and electrical machinery failures and radio interference. In fact, the rare phenomenon of ball lightning may also form such electrical storms, accounting for the strange lights seen by Columbus and in other Bermuda Triangle accounts.
So this is another one of those cases where, is this all one theory or two?
These are two theories now.
First one seems pretty reasonable. Yep. Second one seems even more reasonable.
So, judging by my patterns of how I present theories,
We're about to enter some choppy territory
what
here.
do you think is going to happen next?
The third theory is that those lost in the Bermuda Triangle are actually now residents of the legendary lost civilization of Atlantis.
No, they're not. Nope.
Now, all the frustration I had in the first half of this is now equally composited on top of you.
Are they breathing underwater?
Atlantis was written about by Plato and was supposedly an ancient naval power, but according to legend, the entire kingdom disappeared into the sea in just one day. In the 1970s, a writer named Charles Berlitz hypothesized that the entire city of Atlantis was actually a victim of the Bermuda Triangle, and now resides and thrives under the sea within the triangle's bounds. Berlitz theorized that the technology and weaponry of Atlantis was so advanced that it continues to contribute to the mysterious sinking of ships and planes. Some believe that which is lost in the Bermuda Triangle continues to exist in Atlantis beneath the sea.
I can see your face and it's just fuming and
Because
getting...
this is absurd.
The fourth theory is that the Bermuda Triangle is actually a gateway to another universe, or in scientific terms, a black hole of sorts.
I think if there were a black hole anywhere near our solar system, everything would cease to exist.
Well, we don't know anything about black holes.
Yes, we know a fair amount about black holes.
I mean, we haven't been able to actually experiment on them or have any quantifiable data.
Black holes aren't unicorns, Ryan.
I mean, they could be, who knows?
I think there's a lot that you don't know.
Some say this would account for the fact that travel times through the region are unpredictable, with some flights getting to their destination faster than usual. In the 1970s, pilot Bruce Gernon testified that he had escaped an incident in the Bermuda Triangle, which he described as an electronic fog. His plane was submerged in a gray haze and his compasses failed. He flew blindly for 3 minutes before his radio informed him he was flying over Miami. When he looked down at his watch, 40 minutes had passed, but he had traveled a distance comparable to 90 minutes of flight.
Have you thought about a black hole that could possibly only be opened up when it's when someone wants it to? Like a cosmic...
Trickster?
a cosmic trickster, a cosmic Cheshire cat.
Yeah, okay. I buy that more than I buy Atlantis. Cosmic Cheshire cat. Sure.
Also in the 1970s, an unconventional Canadian scientist, John Hutchison, found in his work that electromagnetic fields could interfere with each other, and when such a phenomenon occurred, astonishing things could happen, including making metals glow, change form, or become disfigured. Some theorize that this effect, appropriately named the Hutchison effect, could conceivably create a wormhole. The fifth and final theory is a classic. The disappearances within the Bermuda Triangle are the result of extraterrestrials. Abduction by aliens would certainly explain sudden and absolute disappearances. Some claim there is a secret US Navy base in the Bahamas linked to aquatic alien activity, referred to as Underwater Area 51.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Tell me about Underwater Area 51.
Oh, that's it. That's it about Aaron.
That's it?
No, there's nothing else about Aaron.
Why?
In 2014, at least 2 passengers on a Carnival cruise within the Bermuda Triangle said they saw a UFO fly over them in the middle of the day.
To be fair, not trusting anybody on a Carnival cruise.
What happened to you on a Carnival cruise?
I've never been on one and I will never go on one. I assume they were drunk or high, probably just out of their minds.
I was gonna say there's even reported footage, but unfortunately, because of rights, we can't look at the footage. You know what? I could show it to you right now on my phone.
I'd love to see.
How about that? I'll show it to you right now.
This is shopped to high heaven.
What makes you say that?
Just look, look at it. This is,
Okay.
that is the shittiest footage I've ever, that is so fake.
I forgot.
Just turn that opacity down as it gets into the cloud. Somebody really busted out Windows Movie Maker for that one.
Regardless, whatever may be causing these mysterious events, the Bermuda Triangle is actually a highly traveled region, mostly without incident. But for the curious, the numerous and bizarre disappearances continue to vex them. What could be causing these incidents? Is the Bermuda Triangle a thing of the supernatural? Or is it simply an area with a high concentration of unnerving coincidences? The answer will remain unsolved.
I'm saying you don't know how black holes work. I think
I've got a better understanding than you do, sir.
I actually do understand how they work, how we perceive them, and our scientists perceive them. I'm saying there's other science that we don't know about.
There's other science that we don't know about.
Yes, that's aliens are a perfect example of that.
2017, Ryan Bergara, there's other science that we don't know about.
That makes me sound like Donald Trump.
Well, you're presenting alternative facts, so.
Well, it's an alternative reality.
Let's not get political. I don't know, that's too sad. Let's just talk about ghosts.
Okay.
It says danger, I wouldn't go in there.
Holy shit.
Turn the light off!
Oh my God. This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we explore Bobby Mackey's music world, which is seemingly a normal Kentucky bar, but many believe it's actually a portal to hell. As many of you know, or as many of you who watch this show know, I hate demons and I will only do one per season. So this is my sacrifice for this season.
I didn't know that was your rule.
It's my one rule.
Oh, thanks for breaking it.
Would it have killed them to make this any closer to the city? Does it have to be on the side of a weird, creepy road?
We'd all like to live in the big fancy city.
You know what I meant. And the worst part is, I don't even have my holy water. I went to 8 churches today to try and get some holy water, and I could not get one bit of holy water. So now I'm going into a demon hole with no holy water. What? Bobby Mackey's, the most haunted nightclub in America. They're certainly not hiding from it anymore. At least the sign's in nice, fun font.
It's like Cheers with Demons.
I'll open the door for you, you walk in first. How about that?
We do this every time, and you throw it down like it's a challenge. But, okay.
God, the creak. Oh, that's pleasant.
It's got a girls' night out.
No, not that. Warning to our patrons, this establishment is reported to be haunted. Management is not responsible and cannot be held liable for any actions of any ghosts/spirits on these premises. Obviously enough weird stuff has happened here to necessitate a sign like that. You're not a little alarmed? Look at all these cool little newspaper clippings too. Oh, fuck me. Well, we're in.
Spooky, huh?
Let's just sit down and then I'll tell you the history of this place.
Okay.
Aside from housing a supposed portal to hell, Bobby Mackey's also has plenty of rich history that lends itself to spiritual hauntings.
I was locking up after a tour, which happened to be pretty quiet that whole evening, and just all of a sudden I started hearing what sounded like all of the windows and doors were just shaking violently, and you could actually feel them, shaking through, the walls, the floors were shaking. It was pretty creepy, and so I just stuck my head out the door, and no one was there.
Originally, Bobby Mackey's music world was believed to be built as a slaughterhouse and meatpacking plant in the 1850s. The building would go through many incarnations, including a hotel in the 1920s, a country club in the 1930s, and a club and casino called the Latin Quarter throughout the 1930s and the 1950s. The club was actually run by a Cleveland gang syndicate and was reportedly heavily involved in the mob. It's unclear how many undocumented deaths and crimes may have occurred during these mob times. The room that is now the men's bathroom used to be an office in the casino that may have had darker implications.
This used to be an office back in the day. Apparently, there was a trap door in here that leads directly to the portal to hell downstairs.
Yikes.
And they would drop bodies down that.
Nowadays, they drop something else in here.
Nowadays, only deuces.
There is also a safe room that used to house the casino money.
All right, so right now we're gonna go into the what the fuck.
What?
My eyes must be playing tricks with me. You're not gonna believe me if I tell you, so why I even tell you? But pretty much, I thought I saw something pass by the...
You're sure it wasn't just
Maybe it was
bars there?
Maybe it was the light moving. Right now we are in the safe room from back in the old casino mafia days.
Mob guys, thought you were tough guys. Thought you were big tough guys with your guns and your threatening and your cursing. Why don't you come in here and give us the business, huh? Why don't you punch me in the face, maybe smack me around a little? What are you, a wussy?
All right, we're gonna be quiet for 1 minute. You have 1 minute. Right, ready, and now. Oh, fuck, you scared the shit out of me. Oh my God.
There's a disco ball on the ceiling.
I just got startled by a disco ball.
The casino was closed in 1961 by local sheriffs cracking down on organized crime. Now that we've established the general history, let's go over some of the history and legend that haunts Bobby Mackey's. Reportedly, in the 1940s, a pregnant woman named Johanna killed herself after her lover was murdered. Johanna may have been the daughter of one of the gangster casino owners, and reportedly was also a dancer at the club formerly housed in Bobby Mackey's. The story goes that her father had her lover, said to be named Robert Randall, killed. Eerily, Bobby, which is the first name of the bar's current owner, is actually a nickname. Bobby Mackey's full name is Robert Randall Mackey, leading some to believe that Joanna thinks Bobby Mackey is her former lover, Robert Randall.
She knows he's dead, though.
It's a ghost. She doesn't even know she's dead.
Well, the ghost looks at him and doesn't realize it's a different person?
Maybe they can't, they don't see things that way. Maybe they just like hear the name Robert Randall. Like, I don't know how it works, okay?
Do you think he's like
this is a theory.
Do you think he's like taken his license out before and the ghost was looking at it, but his thumb was covering his last name and she was like, Robert Randall, that must be my lover.
Maybe.
I imagine most people walk in here and say, hey, buddy.
Yeah.
So why is she confusing him with Robert Randall?
I don't know. Why don't you ask her?
She doesn't seem like a very intelligent ghost.
Jesus Christ, you always have to insult the ghosts of the place we're at.
After her lover Robert was reportedly killed by her father, it said that Johanna poisoned and killed her father before poisoning herself in one of the dressing rooms at Bobby Mackey's.
So the roses are for her?
The roses are meant for Joanna. I'm guessing for people who come in here and investigate. All right, I'm gonna sit down.
Joanna, are you here? What about the demons?
Jesus Christ.
Are they here? Ryan's not scared of you either.
Nope, that's not true. Oh, you keep tricking me into fucking talking to them, you dickhead.
It's worth mentioning that I could find no record of this specific Joanna, though there is apparently a death certificate of a woman named Joanna who died in Bobby Mackey's due to poisoning. Another interesting area in the bar is the former kitchen, where Bobby Mackey's first caretaker, Carl Lawson, had an exorcism performed on him.
What's so funny about
In the
that?
kitchen?
Yeah, I find that a strange place to get exercise as well.
Was it like an emergency?
Like a house call emergency? Like, you
Yeah,
need to come down here quick. He was eating a bagel in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And he just fell down. I don't know what's happening. No, that didn't happen that way. I don't know why they did it there.
Lawson claims that he became demonically possessed during his stay at Bobby Mackey's. As caretaker, Carl Lawson actually lived in the apartment located above the bar, where he reportedly had experiences with many entities.
Right now, we're looking for the entrance to Carl's apartment. There's stairs that lead up to where he used to live up there. And one might think that's where he got possessed. Holy shit.
Oof, tight squeeze.
Jesus Christ, man. Oh boy. A little freaked out now.
Very poor cable management.
Oh boy. And the sign up front says go away.
Carl is a bit of a curmudgeon. Oh, gross.
Oh, Jesus Christ. God, I don't like the way this room, maybe it's because it's just awful looking. I hate the way
It's old.
I feel in here.
Like pretty much everywhere we go, it's old and gross.
And it certainly looks like a room where you would lose your mind. I'll give him that. What the fuck?
What?
You come over here and you open this.
What?
It says danger, do not enter, keep out.
Well, why would we go in there?
Because, well, I mean, naturally you got it.
No. If it says danger.
Well, oh, shit.
What?
That fucking door just moved. Why was it pinning the door shut?
I don't know. It says danger. I wouldn't go in there. It's a ghost hole. Whoa, they got Peter Frampton tapes in here. And Springsteen. Oh.
Oh, now you go in.
Let's examine one last bit of dark history. On January 31st, 1895, 20-year-old Pearl Bryan was brutally murdered by her boyfriend Scott Jackson and his friend Alonzo Walling. Pearl had been 5 months pregnant at the time of her death. Jackson and Walling were both dental students at the time, and legend has it that they felt their medical knowledge was sufficient enough to perform an abortion. If that was the case, then obviously things went horribly wrong, and they eventually decapitated Pearl in an attempt to conceal the body's identity.
What? What were they trying to do? How do you go that wrong?
No one's like fooling around with the tools down by like the pelvic area and then like slips, oh shit, there goes my scalpel, oh, chopped her head off. That's not how it works.
I accidentally lopped it. A little too much off the top on this one. I'm gonna be a little leery next time I go into the dentist and they put me under.
My dad's a dentist.
What?
Yeah.
Has he ever cut anybody's head off?
Not that I know of. I mean, I'm 99.9% sure he's never cut anyone's head off in his time as a dentist.
That's concerning that there's that tiny margin of error.
That implies that maybe he may have before he was a dentist. I don't know about that time.
Are you ever eating?
I've only known him as the dentist.
Have you ever eaten dinner with him and he just kind of stares at the wall for a second and you wonder like...
And there's like a slight glint on the knife.
Yeah.
And then like just...
Is he thinking about that time you accidentally cut someone's head off?
Though, some believe this wasn't an accident, and Jackson and Walling intended to murder Pearl the entire time. Either way, Jackson and Walling were hung from the same scaffold at the same time, claiming innocence until the end, despite the piles of evidence against them. Legend says that Alonzo Walling threatened that he would come back and haunt the area after he died. Some believe he may have kept his word.
That's the weirdest thing to do. Before you die, just be like, I'm gonna haunt you!
It means nothing to you at the time, but
Yeah.
if it gets, other people all like crazy, then why not?
Yeah. I'm gonna make creaks!
No, not that specific. You're getting too specific now.
Oh, you gotta be.
You need to get more general.
Because then
with your
every time they
threats.
hear a creak, they'll think, that's Shane. I shouldn't have killed him. Anytime you get uneasy, that's me.
Horrifically, the head of Pearl was never found, and the two never revealed where they put it. Legend has it that they threw the head down the well in Bobby Mackey's basement.
Fuck me. Holy shit. Oh no. That's Carl's old workroom. Look at the holes. There's bullet holes in this door.
Huh? Whoa! That's the real deal, baby.
But a history of death and violence isn't the only thing that brings this basement to life. Around the 1890s, the building that would become Bobby Mackey's closed its doors as a slaughterhouse. After it closed, it's been said that Bobby Mackey's, and the basement in particular, became a site where occultists performed rituals. And when combined with the dark mob history, there's no telling what dark entities could reside in the basement. In fact, located in the basement, there's even a cage that functioned as a makeshift prison during mob times.
So we've got the spooky
Jesus Christ.
spooky jail cell here. Oh, you're gonna make me sit in the shitty chair?
Put the light right there.
We'll start with it on and see if it turns off. Now what? Now what, Ryan?
Shut up, Shane.
Demon, turn it on if you're planning to do us harm tonight.
It only happens right away when there's something actually doing something to it.
Turn it on if you want to hurt us.
Fucking shit! God! Why do you keep asking questions like that? What's wrong with you? Do you want to fucking die?
It's just a coincidence.
The reason why Shane thinks the flashlight is BS is because a mag light, when turned to the point between on and off, will actually flicker on and off at random due to the heating and cooling of the reflector inside. This is scientifically true. However, the light can also turn on and off due to the slightest physical touch, perhaps like the touch of a spirit. And that's where it gets paranormal for me, when the light turns on and off, consistently on command over a period of time, like in the Sally house, and maybe like we're seeing in the portal to hell.
Turn it off if if you want to follow Ryan Bergara home.
Why would you ask it that?
He lives in Los Angeles.
Even if this is, why would you even take the chance?
You're gonna have a hard time getting on the plane. Demons!
Fucking, I'm not.
Turn the light off!
Fucking shut up!
Demons!
What is?
You're not trying hard enough!
Oh my god!
Plunge us into darkness, demons!
What is wrong with you?
Demons!
Oh my god! You have a death wish.
Demons, you cowards!
You have a death wish.
Turn the light off. No, it's a bunch of baloney, man. Can we check out some other rooms here?
The center of this dark energy is undoubtedly located in the well room, a room occultists used to discard remains of the small animals sacrificed during the occult ceremonies. Some believe that Scott Jackson, the murderer of Pearl Bryan, was a member of this occult, and that he tossed Pearl's dismembered head down the well in the basement at Bobby Mackey's as part of a satanic ritual. Many people believe this well is a portal to hell, a portal that opened the door for the other unnamed demonic entities that roamed the basement in Bobby Mackey's. There's accounts of growls, dizziness, and physical assaults.
All right, so this is, inside this door is the well room. That's the portal to hell in there. So we're gonna do 2 minutes each alone in there.
Uh-huh.
I want to be able to be pulled out as soon as something happens, so I'm just gonna tie this around me. They used to do this in the Old Testament. I'm gonna tie this around my waist, and you're gonna hold the other end, and if I knock on this, or if I can't breathe because something's choking me in there, if I pull on this rope, you pull me the fuck out of there.
Okay.
Ah, fucking Christ. Oh, please. Please. I'm not gonna talk to anything in here. I don't want to do anything. Oh my God.
We got some rope. Ryan, you okay in there?
I'm fine, I'm just walking around. Is that okay? You're gonna be okay, Ryan. You're gonna be okay.
Ryan, would you be quiet?
I'm gonna be quiet now.
We got 2 minutes.
2 minutes? I thought we already did the 2 minutes.
No, I'm saying we just finished.
I'm good? Can I come out?
You're good, you can come out. Was it scary?
Yeah, it was fucking scary.
Okay, I feel safe. Going into the demon hole.
You're on your own.
All right. Hey there, demons. It's me, your boy. I'm standing near your hole, and it's very dark. And frankly, I don't believe in you, so I feel like I'm writing a letter to Santa Claus right now. But my friend Ryan does believe in you, so maybe you are real. He's I wouldn't say logical person, but smart. I guess I'll be quiet now, and if you want to pick me up or scratch me or slam me into the ceiling, now would be the best opportunity for that. Understand, I do have a rope here, so, you know. All right, maintaining silence now. Do try to kill me.
You trying to fuck with me here?
Yeah. No demons in there. This place is cleared. All right. It's been fun, Bobby Mackey.
Let's get the fuck out of here. All right, we did it.
We
Goodbye, demon.
Goodbye, demon.
I'm now acknowledging you because I'm leaving.
This is the only time Ryan has courage.
This is
when
the
he's
only
running
time I feel
away.
confident when I'm walking out the door. So goodbye forever. You'll never see this mug again.
The happiest that you ever are is when we're leaving.
Yeah, because all the joy comes back in my body.
Many investigators have ended their nights early due to not being able to handle the forces that reside in the basement. Nobody can say for sure if Bobby Mackey's is haunted, but just going off the countless accounts of paranormal and even dangerous activity, it's not a stretch to say that there may be something supernatural at Bobby Mackey's. But whether or not Bobby Mackey's is definitively haunted will remain unsolved.
The first time that light turned on, I was pretty scared. Maybe there was something in there, I just wanted to get out. So I'm happy we're done.
You escaped the clutches of yet another demon.
By the way, you are a psychopath for saying the things you were saying to it in there.
Demons aren't real, so that's why I tend to be so flip with them.
Or one of them's gonna follow me home. So
Well, the only way to really provoke them is to provoke them, right?
You don't need to provide a home address.
All I said was Los Angeles. You know how many people live in Los Angeles? That demon's never gonna find you.
There's only one Ryan Bergara in Los Angeles. You know
Is that
right?
true?
Yes, it's true. There's only 2 in the world.
Whoa, have you met the other one?
He's in the Philippines.
You gotta kill him.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we discussed 3 of the most compelling mysteries that suggest the presence of ancient aliens. So, let's drop some sweet knowledge.
I'm already fed up with the folders, by the way. Looks too official,
All right.
considering the nonsense that is within.
The existence of aliens or extraterrestrials has long been one of the great mysteries of the world. According to a 2015 survey conducted by YouGov.com, about 54% of America, 56% of Germany, and 52% of the UK believe in extraterrestrial intelligent life. That being said, history seems to indicate that aliens may have visited our world in ancient times, aiding us at the brink of civilization. There are cave paintings like this one from Australia that may be up to 5,000 years old that some interpret as creatures wearing spacesuits. Or this painting from 8000 BC in the Sahara Desert that illustrates what appears to be spacemen leading natives in a line.
They're just people. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying what people interpret them as.
There's a basket of fruit.
How do you think that's a basket of fruit?
It's just a basket of fruit on their head.
There's two of them with baskets of fruit, and
Why
everyone else.
does that one in the back also have a little basket?
Maybe as a child. Look how
No.
small the rest are. Why are these so large?
Okay.
Here's a drawing of a Mayan carving that shows a man attached to what some construe as an oxygen source as he operates controls in what appears to be a spaceship. Other fascinating objects include this hieroglyph from the Temple of Seti I that dates back to the 14th century BC. The glyph appears to contain hovering spacecrafts and modern-day flying machinery such as helicopters.
Why would there be a helicopter?
I don't know. Why would they know there's a
Are
helicopter?
they time traveling?
Possibly. I don't know. Why would they know that unless they were there was some kind of intelligent civilization that visited them that would be able to show these things?
So the aliens show up, show them pictures of helicopters, and fly away.
Well, I mean, this isn't the entire. I mean, this is what we've discovered so far. There could
Well, I
be.
can't wait to see the rest of it. I can't wait to see
Okay.
a poster of the motion picture Wedding Crashers and
Okay.
well, some lava lamps.
Additionally, a funerary marker from roughly 100 BC shows a woman presenting what some consider a laptop with USB ports.
How do they charge it?
I don't know.
Why are there USB ports on it if they don't have thumbnail
I
drives?
don't know. I'm just saying what.
What are they looking at on it? There's no internet. Do they have Photoshop?
And finally, here is a hieroglyph from Hathor Temple in Egypt that shows workers operating what appeared to be enormous light bulbs, perhaps explaining how artists were able to see when drawing elaborate hieroglyphs inside their tombs.
What are you drawing?
Ryan, here's you with 3 butt cheeks.
Okay.
I've drawn it. Now it exists.
Why do I have little penguin arms?
I don't know. Why do you have little penguin arms? That's a good question. Here's you with little penguin arms and 3 butt cheeks. I've drawn it, so it must be real.
But beyond these small scattered references to alien and modern technology, there are entire cities, civilizations, and architectural undertakings that make us question if we have always been alone. What follows are the best mysteries that history has to offer in regards to ancient aliens. The first mystery we'll discuss is the Dogon and Sirius B. The Dogon are a tribal group in West Africa, south of Timbuktu in the Republic of Mali, that settled sometime between the 10th and 13th centuries. In the 1930s and 1940s, the studies of French anthropologists Marcel Griaule and Germaine Dieterlen revealed that the Dogon knew a surprising amount of modern astronomy. According to their studies, the Dogon believed these things, all of which are scientific facts. The planets orbit the sun. The Earth and other planets rotate on their axis. Saturn has a ring. Jupiter has 4 moons. And finally, that the star Sirius is actually part of a double star system containing a star called Sirius B that has a 50-year orbit and is invisible to the naked human eye. Knowledge of how planets orbit would not require advanced technology. However, to know about Saturn's ring and Jupiter's moon would require remarkable eyesight and an extremely clear sky. But what is truly astonishing is the Dogon's knowledge of the star Sirius B, especially when you consider the fact that scientists were only able to discern information about Sirius B with the use of quantum mechanics, relativity, and advanced telescopes. This leads some to believe that the Dogon were taught about Sirius B by a far more advanced civilization. Dogon mythology reportedly speaks of them being visited by a set of beings referred to as the Nomo, who according to author Robert Temple are amphibious beings from the Sirius star system.
That's cool.
You have nothing to say about any of that.
I will fight you tooth and nail when it comes to ghouly ghosts, but aliens are a little more probable.
I win.
No, you don't win.
I think I won.
Because I'm sure you've got plenty of other stuff on here that's very dumb.
Though, some people have other theories, such as Robert Burnham, who believes that the Dogon could have known about Sirius B due to extraordinary eyesight. He theorizes that with a 10-inch reflecting telescope in clear skies, Sirius B could have been seen. However, if this were true, the Dogon would have also been able to see Uranus, Neptune, and other cosmic observations, which they did not. Another doubter is author Carl Sagan, who believes that the Dogon's cosmic knowledge is suspiciously consistent with an informed person from the 1930s and 40s. Sagan posits that the French anthropologists that visited during that time and broke the story of the Dogon merely entwined Sirius B into the Dogon's existing mythology to make an interesting story.
Well, look, if Carl Sagan believes it, I believe it.
But he's just saying they lied. He's just saying.
Well, then he's probably got an informed opinion. He's Carl fucking Sagan.
But all that said is he thinks they lied. That's
Well,
like
then I'm on board with Carl Sagan.
But there's no evidence to back that they lied.
I don't give a shit. He's Carl Sagan.
The second mystery we'll discuss is the ancient city of Tiwanaku in Bolivia, a city that was high above sea level, roughly 13,000 feet. The people of Tiwanaku utilize massive monolithic stones that weigh up to 450 tons. How the people of Tiwanaku moved these enormous stones remains a mystery. Some suggest the stones were pulled along logs, but others believe aliens may have aided with anti-gravity methods. Also discovered on the site were 200 elongated skulls, possibly the heads of shamans, whose heads were bound to that shape in an effort to amplify their ability to communicate with deities.
I can't imagine that'd be a pleasurable experience. Also, you'd have to do that over like your lifetime, right? Probably. I can't imagine that's like a quick process.
If I were like 5 years old and my mom was like, we're gonna start doing something now. It's gonna last a long time, but when it's all over, your head will be very long. I'd probably say, I'm good. I'll just sign up for karate or something.
Conceivably, these shamans elongated their skulls to emulate the deities that visited them. Perhaps the main mystery of Tiwanaku is what instruments the people used to carve their stones to achieve such exactness without the use of power tools. For example, there are H-blocks that interlock in a detailed and sophisticated manner that require no mortar. On site, there is also a calendar that some believe dates millions of years back and made by visitors from outer space. For good measure, near Tiwanaku's Gate of the Sun is a wall decorated with heads that some believe could be aliens.
If 1,000 years from now, someone was like, wow, have you ever seen Signs? Signs, the motion picture that they made back in the day, they found aliens. It was crazy.
Okay,
they ruined a kid's birthday party.
You're talking about a civilization that is us now that is able to perceive advanced art and like expression in that way. We could separate reality from not reality.
Yeah.
What I'm positing is I don't know if they had that capability back then, especially in the cave paintings.
You don't think back then?
In the cave painting ones, you think
you don't think they were creative? My big takeaway here is that art is not proof.
Okay, sure.
The third mystery is arguably the strongest indicator of ancient aliens, the Pyramids of Giza. The 3 Giza pyramids were constructed between 2550 and 2490 BC in Egypt. They were built as tombs for the pharaohs meant to emulate and honor the gods. The first and largest pyramid, also referred to as the Great Pyramid, was built around 2550 BC for the pharaoh Khufu and is around 481 feet tall. Each side of the pyramid was 756 feet, and the area of each side is 5.5 acres. The angles at the base of the pyramid are nearly perfect 90-degree angles. All of this suggests the architects had a high understanding of mathematics. That being said, here are some things that make me question who or what those architects may have been.
You're telling me those architects used math? Knock me down with a feather.
I'm suggesting, and some people are suggesting, that perhaps it was a little too advanced.
That's so disrespectful.
The Great Pyramid was constructed of roughly 2.3 million stones, each weighing between 2.5 to 15 tons. In order to finish the Great Pyramid in 23 years, the workers would have to set a block every 2.5 minutes, every day of the week. The Egyptians did not have wheels, pulleys, or work animals, so how could they have lifted and transported these enormous stones with that kind of efficiency?
Can you imagine if you spent your entire life hauling around heavy stones and someone was like, well, they couldn't have done it. You know what it must have been? Space aliens. I seen them.
Every 2.5 minutes, one block, every fucking day of the week for 23 years straight?
Could have had hustle days.
I'm just saying, it doesn't matter how many slaves they were if they didn't have the tools to do it.
Facts don't matter then.
No, I'm saying they didn't have the tools. That is facts.
Some have suggested a ramp structure, but it would have had to be massive, and no evidence of this construction has been found.
If I'm building a giant, mighty, wondrous thing, I'm not going to be like, hey, can you do some chiselings of the ramp? We really got to show off this ramp. The hell of a ramp. Are there blueprints for the pyramids?
I'm sure there is. They had all the mathematics and things broken down.
Are they written in alien language?
Oh my God.
Additionally, the Great Pyramid is perfectly aligned with magnetic north. It is unknown how the Egyptians could possibly have known this, though some theorize it had to do with observing the cosmos. The perimeter of the Great Pyramid, when divided by twice the height, allegedly results in the number pi, up to its 15th digit. This may also demonstrate a suspicious knowledge of mathematics. The pyramids of Giza are also considerably well preserved in comparison to other pyramids around the world, despite the pyramids of Giza being centuries older. Some have claimed this is due to the fact that they were upkept over the past hundreds of years, though others believe it is a sign of unearthly preservation. Finally, the 3 pyramids align with the pattern of Orion's belt, a fact that some consider an impossible feat for the Egyptians to accomplish, unless of course they were building based on instructions.
I don't doubt that they were mathematically adept.
Well, the other two aren't math, the magnetic north and...
Again, magnetic north, they could just observe the sun.
I don't know.
So it was aliens.
Yes, so
They showed up,
So it was aliens.
gave them iPads, gave them a Zune, built the pyramids, left, and that's it.
Sure, yeah, all those things in that order.
And they haven't
Except
been
for
back
the Zune.
since. They haven't been back since.
Yeah, they were like, fuck humanity.
What we covered are only some of the ancient mysteries that inspire wonder and curiosity of our place in the universe. And as with most stories that deal with the existence of extraterrestrials, the answer is never definite and always left to personal interpretation. Were we visited and aided by aliens in ancient times? Do aliens even exist? The answer for now remains unsolved.
What is that?
I'm gonna go on record, this is a bad idea. I may need to go to the hospital.
Now we're heading into the belly of the beast.
So right now we're driving up to Willow Creek, California, the Bigfoot capital of the world.
We're gonna catch ourselves a squatch.
Wait till you see where we're staying.
All right.
So this is Willow Creek, the Bigfoot capital of the world.
It's a beautiful town.
And this is where we're staying. What do you think?
Is this a joke? This is the one chance we get to stay someplace nice.
In Willow
All we
Creek?
do is sleep in haunted places and dirty old hospitals. We can't stay one place nice once.
But how often do you get to say you were a part of history, which is what we're about to be? We're about to etch ourselves in the stone of Bigfoot lore. Are you not excited about
you
that?
could etch yourself, sir.
What?
It was supposed to be fun. This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we seek out the ever-elusive Bigfoot, and tomorrow morning, search for him ourselves. We've got our ridiculous Bigfoot beards ready to go. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get into it, and let's, well, me and you talk some foot.
I'm excited. This is maybe the only time I believe in the thing that you're talking about.
Really?
Bigfoot's, meat and bone.
I'm not the biggest believer in Bigfoot.
Why would you be? It's plausible and grounded in reality. So it's a lot more plausible than all your spooky little specters.
Well, those have evidence, so anyway.
Sure they do. Let's talk foot.
Okay.
The first accounts of big, strong, hairy people date from at least the 15th century in Caucasus, a mountain region between Asia and Europe. Different cultures have different versions or perhaps relatives of this creature. In the Himalayas, it's the Yeti. In Australia, it's the Yowie. In Indonesia, it's the Ibu Gogo. And for America, primarily the Pacific Northwest, it's Bigfoot or Sasquatch. In fact, Bigfoot sightings have been reported in almost every US state. This corroborates the belief that there is more than one Bigfoot, that it's not a singular creature, but a species.
I don't think Foot's walking around Illinois. Who are these people in Wisconsin saying, yeah, there's a Bigfoot there?
There may very well be a hot dog vendor in Chicago who is a Bigfoot.
Excuse me?
Yeah, you heard me.
Do you imagine Bigfoot as someone who walks around in disguises?
Well, some people believe that he's just like this supernatural being, or he or she or whatever it may be, and it's just one of them, a solo act.
That's dumb. It's not supernatural, it's natural.
Like Sting.
It's like Sting?
Sting's a solo act.
Sting's not supernatural, though. If you stab Sting with a knife, Sting will bleed.
You're probably right.
The hunt for Bigfoot became a global phenomenon and inadvertently turned Willow Creek into arguably the #1 destination for squatchers and Bigfoot enthusiasts worldwide. There's places like Bigfoot Books, the Bigfoot Steakhouse, murals, and even a Bigfoot burger.
How often do people actually put down a Bigfoot burger by themselves? Imagine it's nap time after one.
It's nap time for me after, yeah. So you got 2 1/3 patties, and on top of that, when you get done with the burger, after we put all the veggies and everything on it, weighs about 1.5 pounds.
We'll try our best.
Oh, I'm not gonna try my best. I'm gonna finish that thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm finishing it.
You've said it.
Oh.
I'm gonna eat that burger. I'm gonna stay in that haunted house all night.
Whatever.
This is the heaviest sandwich I've ever embraced. That's the biggest bite you got? It was a nibble. I've done it.
My organs are starting to shut down. I'll be dead in 5 minutes. I've done it. You see it? I did it.
I wonder if the guy will be proud of us.
I think I may need to go to the hospital.
Before we go any further, it's worth mentioning that most primatologists do not believe the existence of a Bigfoot or Sasquatch is likely. That being said, let's get into the beginning of the Bigfoot phenomenon in the modern era. In 1958, Gerald Crew discovered and casted large footprints near his bulldozer in Bluff Creek, Del Norte County. The Humboldt Times wrote about the story, and editor Andrew Gonzoli wrote the creature's name as it would be known from that moment on: Bigfoot.
I like that he was just sort of riffing at the time, and everyone just went with it.
Well, could you imagine being the guy who coined the phrase Bigfoot?
Yeah, just staring at that cast and thinking,
That's a Bigfoot.
I know. That's.
However, in 2003, the two sons of a man named Ray L. Wallace came forward to admit that their father had created the footprints using a pair of carved wooden feet. Their father, Ray Wallace, was reportedly a big prankster. Here's a quote from his son Michael. Quote, "This wasn't a well-planned plot or anything. It's weird because it was just a joke. But then it took on such a life of its own that even now, we can't stop it." End quote.
Ain't that like a couple of funny brothers destroying their father's legacy? It's been about a handful of decades since our father duped the world. Let's burn it all down.
They couldn't live with the guilt.
Though, with the existence of plenty of other Bigfoot evidence, this does not deter Bigfoot believers.
So this is actually the local museum in Willow Creek. It's the Willow Creek China Flat Museum. There's a lot of interesting Bigfoot artifacts in there that I think you will find particularly interesting because you're such a big believer.
Yes.
You can see the big statue, probably one of your great-grandfathers back in the day.
I'm not a Bigfoot.
That's Albus Madej right there.
I'm a human being.
Okay.
first encounter, or first, shall I say, story that I ever heard was search and rescue came down from Oregon, said they were looking for a little boy that had been lost in the woods, 4 years old, didn't find him the first night, but the second day they found him sitting alongside the road, and when they picked him up, all he could talk about was the big hairy man that had picked him up, brought him down, and sat him down along the road.
What?
So, yeah, and you know, I don't think a little kid is going to talk about a hairy man. And I mean, there's thousands of encounters. All these people cannot be telling a story.
What personal interactions have you seen with Bigfoot? Like, have you seen tracks? Have you seen him himself?
I've not seen one, and I don't want to. Thank you very much.
Is that because you're scared of Bigfoot? Or?
Well, I think you just want to believe it's out there, but you don't really want to see it.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I would love to see it.
Lucky for us, we're staying near Six Rivers Forest, arguably the most famous Bigfoot forest in the world. Why this forest is so famous, I'll explain later, but all you need to know is that come tomorrow morning, we'll be there. So maybe we may run into the infamous creature himself.
Morning time's here. It's time to go catch us a foot. You ready?
Yeah, a Bigfoot.
This is the original area that he was noticed in before they actually started even knowing anything about a Bigfoot. You know, he's real elusive. I've heard a lot of local lore around here, people that go logging up there and things get thrown at them. They hear things. A couple of people have seen them, you know, off in the distance, and but they never quite get the footage of them.
If you can see over there, that's actually the original cage.
What I think is hilarious is that's not gonna hold a foot.
What makes you say that?
These things are all muscle.
No, that could hold a foot.
You think so?
Yeah, I just did a little wiggle. Maybe Bigfoot could pick up on energy.
Don't make Bigfoot believe in your little ghostly energies and
I never
stuff.
said
Bigfoot is meat and bone, Ryan.
I would just say he could pick up on my energy. I'm a chill
bro.
bro.
He'll pick you up all right.
And then he'd be
He'll
like,
pick you up and crack you in two.
That's a guy I want to share a cold one with, is what he'd say to me.
I don't think that's how Bigfoot rolls.
Okay. Well, should we get this going?
Yeah.
As we attempt to find this legendary creature, we join the legion of current Bigfoot hunters, which range from average people to major television shows. It's a practice taken very seriously in Skamania County. Quote, the Sasquatch, Yeti, Bigfoot, or giant hairy ape are declared to be endangered species of Skamania County, and there is hereby created a Sasquatch refuge, end quote.
I think we're ready to get this going. Let's gear up. Actually.
What is that?
So I don't get shot.
That's gonna scare it away.
It's not gonna scare it away. It's gonna make me look more festive. And I won't get shot. So there's that. That's an added bonus. Have fun getting shot. I'm not gonna help you.
If we do run into a Squatch, the Squatch is gonna see you and just bolt in the opposite direction.
Or you could be like, wow, what a colorful vest.
I don't think that...
Laugh what you want now, but Squatches actually are known to smash things over the head to kill them.
So you honestly think we're going to encounter a Squatch, the Squatch is going to attack you, and your life is going to be saved because you're wearing a helmet?
I mean...
It's gonna bring a rock down upon
I'm not gonna
your
say
head.
that's 100% certain.
We're gonna get it on film.
It's
we're
not
gonna say, thank God Ryan had his helmet.
I think we're ready to rock and roll, baby.
You look like an idiot.
According to first-person accounts, Bigfoot's skin color ranges from deep black, charcoal, dark brown, reddish brown, or gray, with the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet much lighter. The average height is reportedly 7'10".
So, not that much taller than you.
I'm 6'4", so that's significantly taller.
I mean,
if
relative to other normal people.
If I see people taller than me, I get concerned about them because I think they're gonna die young.
And the maximum weight is estimated to be over 1,000 pounds.
Leave Bigfoot alone.
Oh, I wasn't fat-shaming Bigfoot.
Oh,
I was
thought
just
you were.
mentioning that this is a creature of enormous strength.
What about the little ones?
There's no information on the little ones.
Oh, okay.
They are also thought to be mostly silent, though they have been credited with howls, grunts, screams, and growls.
Doesn't surprise me. Much like an ape.
Well, you seem to know a lot about growls.
I've seen some episodes of television where noted survivalist speaks of an encounter with a foot, and he hears it in the woods, and it makes a howling noise that sort of like a so
Other interesting tidbits come from the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, which claims Bigfoot are orderly and often stack rocks neatly. They also claim Bigfoot have legendary strength and that they, quote, take pleasure in using their strength.
Check out this wood. Oh, fuck.
It's a salamander.
Oh, fuck, it's alive, dude.
Yeah.
Does it bite?
It's a newt or a salamander. He's just hanging out.
His name is Cedric. He struck me as a Cedric when I first saw him, after we destroyed his apartment. Look at his beady little eyes.
I know. It looks like you.
It does.
The strength of Bigfoot was on full display many years ago on the IC Road, an area a short drive away from where we are now. When the IC Road was being constructed from north of the Hoopa Valley Indian Reservation, crew members would arrive in the morning to find that 500-pound tires had been tossed around, bulldozers were turned over, and giant footprints were all around the site.
Yeah, what if we try calling it?
You call it. Here, let me see that shit. All right, do it. Do your little call. Well, if it's any consolation, you look like an idiot.
Let's go over some of the recent evidence. In 2006, Jeffrey Meldrum, an associate professor of anatomy and anthropology at Idaho State University, published a book called Sasquatch: Legend Meets Science. Meldrum is also an expert on foot morphology and the movement of monkeys, apes, and hominids. In that book, he wrote, quote, "The evidence that exists fully justifies the investigation and the pursuit of this question," end quote. In the 1990s, Meldrum was shown casts of Bigfoot footprints that were 14 inches long, with some suggesting running motion, and others actually showing skin whorls. Meldrum felt the running footsteps in particular would be hard to fake, quote, "unless you had some device, some cable-loaded flexible toes," end quote.
Think it's time for a little brew break. Seems like a fitting spot. Now we're breaking out the bait.
This is gonna attract.
I told you, we have a different kind of vibe.
That's for Foot.
That's for Mr. and Mrs. Foot.
I'm sharing a cold one.
Right there. That's for you. If you're out here, I'm not gonna do a stupid mating call, but I think you understand. That one, I'm not doing that, but I think you know what this is. Huh? Waft it.
If one actually walked out right now, this would be the greatest thing ever captured on camera. If we lured out a Bigfoot with a beer.
Here, I'll tell you what. I'll take my helmet off so you can see my face.
Smallfoot, take off helmet. You crush.
I'm exposing my cranium to you.
It's very small, but if you aim right, you could crush his tiny little head. You're a coward.
He said that, but I agree with him. He meant it more though, so hit him.
Dr. Wolf-Henner Fehrenbach, a retired zoologist who formerly worked at the Oregon Regional Primate Research Center, believes in Bigfoot and has done analysis on over 700 footprints. It's thought that Bigfoot's big toe is aligned with the other toes, similar to human foot alignment. He believes Bigfoot's foot is approximately 15.6 inches long, and that the creature weighs up to 2,000 pounds. Dr. Fehrenbach even told the New York Times in 2003, quote, "I've gotten close enough to smell him."
What? He's gotten close enough? What do you mean?
Well, I'll let you know in a second here, but yeah, it's an interesting thing to say.
Tell me more.
By the way, Bigfoot is believed to smell horrible, with some comparing it to the odor of smegma, a sebaceous secretion in the folds of the skin, especially under a man's foreskin.
Lovely.
You don't have to describe that.
Well, that's what he smells like. If you are wondering.
One of the more promising developments came in the form of a carcass claimed to be of Bigfoot. In 2008, 2 researchers from Atlanta purchased a frozen Bigfoot carcass from Georgia Bigfoot Tour Company owner Rick Dyer and his friend Matthew Whidden. But the carcass turned out to be a rubber gorilla suit.
How much did they pay for this?
There is conflicting reports online, but at the very least hundreds of thousands. It's enough to be embarrassed about. What the hell?
Uh-oh.
It's just a table.
Bigfoot, little table.
Yeah, where he does a little light reading. Maybe that's where he writes sonnets. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Everything's fine.
Oh my God, look at that cave up there.
I know.
Oh, shit. Oh, should we do this? Okay. I'm gonna go on record, this is a bad idea. Please don't die.
If we do find a bear up here, they're just gonna
I'm
fall
pretty
and
fucked.
die.
Oh my God, dude, I'm pretty scared. I don't wanna fucking look at here. Oh, Jesus. Hey, girl! You...
That's what you do, you call out for the...
Well, if there isn't a fucking squatch in here, there's definitely a snake of some sort that's gonna bite me on the wiener, so I think I wanna get out of here.
There have also been attempts at DNA analysis for Bigfoot. Retired zoologist Dr. Wolf Fehrenbach has been unable to identify Bigfoot DNA, but as of 2006, there were at least 15 samples that he had been unable to identify as any other animal. In 2012, a veterinarian researcher claimed to have sequenced Sasquatch DNA, claiming that Sasquatch was descended from human females who had mated with unknown hominin males.
Nah.
What do you have
This
against
guy's
that?
inhaling too many cat shit fumes.
Oh my God.
In 2014, a team of researchers led by an Oxford professor of human genetics conducted genetic analysis of reported Sasquatch hair samples. Unfortunately, the samples belong to a range of known animals, such as dogs, bears, and humans.
What are we gonna actually do if we find one? It's like,
try and
all
get
right,
some-
we found you.
I mean, I wouldn't approach it. I would try and get some footage of it.
But what if it approached us? Then what do we do? We
Oh,
die, right? That's
yeah,
the
it
part where
wouldn't
we
be
die.
great.
You know, this is all jolly right now, but could you imagine what this is gonna be like at night?
Well, this is... Are they nocturnal?
We'll find out. There really is no studies on whether or not Bigfoot is nocturnal or not. There's not a lot of sightings of him at night, but there are some. But they're definitely in the minority. Holy shit, it is dark as fuck out here. Oh! I'm not catching anything on thermal. There you are. Holy shit, dude, this is fucking scary!
Now we're heading into the belly of the beast.
Fuck me, dude. We're goners if we find this guy. That's not scaring you right now? Shut your stupid mouth.
It is only appropriate that we save the best piece of evidence for last, and although it happened in 1967, it is my belief that this is the most convincing piece of Bigfoot evidence in existence. In 1967, Roger Patterson, an amateur Bigfoot hunter, along with Bob Gimlin, filmed a home movie in Six Rivers National Forest, the forest we're currently in. What they captured on camera is the only footage of Bigfoot that has not been completely debunked.
It's enough to convince me.
I mean,
It doesn't look like a person in a costume.
it
The
is
way
a-
it moves,
It's a very old piece of footage.
it is a very old piece of footage.
that being
but
said-
so is Die Hard. Still good.
What? What?
I'm saying just because something's old doesn't mean it's bad. Or
That's a completely different train of thought. What the fuck
it's
is
been a
going
long
on here?
day.
Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum, the expert on foot morphology and the movement of monkeys, apes, and hominids, believes you can see Bigfoot's muscle movements in the film. He believes the ankles in particular are key indicators that this is not a man in a costume. Bob Gimlin regrets shooting the film, believing that Patterson benefited from it more than he did. In fact, it actually tore their friendship apart. They didn't make up until Roger Patterson was on his deathbed. Either way, both of them believe what they saw, and so do many around the world. This footage would become the most famous piece of cryptozoological evidence of all time, a feat that we are aspiring to right now.
Bigfoot!
Okay, I don't believe in him.
Come crush Ryan's head!
It's not gonna happen. He's not real. He's not real. Please, God, nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Please, please.
Yeah, shh, shh, shh. We have to listen too. like the squatches are biting tonight.
That's good, that's good. That means we live to see tomorrow. All right, I'm leaving. I'm getting, I'm going. Bye-bye, bye-bye, Bigfoot.
The existence of Bigfoot still firmly rests in two camps, believers and skeptics. The mindset of skeptics could be summed up by the thoughts of University of Florida anthropologist David J. Dagling. Quote, "Even if you have 1,000,000 pieces of evidence, if all the evidence is inconclusive, you can't count it all up to make something conclusive." End quote. Whereas the mindset of believers is generally that it's unscientific to discount the plethora of evidence. Over the years, there have been casts of footprints, possible recorded calls, unidentifiable hairs, and first-person accounts. But in the end, until there is indisputable evidence, it really comes down to what you believe in. Is Bigfoot real? The answer will remain unsolved.
I'm so terrified right now. You're not even a little bit scared right now?
No. What was that noise?
Hello? What was that?
Boo, it's me, Tituba, the ghost.
All right, so this is the Jonathan Corwin house, one of the most notorious witchcraft judges, but it's more known in a touristy aspect as the witch house now, as you can see the signs right there.
Yeah, they're really going for that.
It definitely has a creepy vibe to it.
It looks pretty cozy, right?
You have a different standard of cozy, I think, than normal people.
Great. Look, on a wintry day like this, that looks very welcoming.
It's a black house, snow hitting it. To me, it's more eerie, but, you know, I see things a little different than you. So you know what, let's just go in. Yeah.
You're going in first?
Yeah, why not?
Wow, brave.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we explore the city of Salem, home of the Salem Witch Trials, as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real? Right now, we're about to head out to some of the key locations that played a big part in one of the darkest blemishes in American history. And later, I may even present some theories as to why the witch trials may have happened.
That sounds about right.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. This is gonna be a blast.
Death, hangings, this has it all.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it.
In 1641, the Puritan legal code was created and established a hierarchy of crimes. Starting with the worst, the list goes idolatry, witchcraft, blasphemy, murder, poisoning, and bestiality.
These people are, no, they're too... Blasphemy. You can kill a man, but if you're like, God stinks.
Ah, Jesus Christ, blow his head off.
Yeah. How many people were poisoning each other?
I don't know, how many people were fucking donkeys back then?
Everyone's always like, how could they have done all this? How could they have gone so crazy and killed so many innocent people? Well, here's why. Because they're all insane.
Let's jump forward to January 1692, when 9-year-old Elizabeth Parris and 11-year-old Abigail Williams began exhibiting strange behavior. Elizabeth and Abigail were the daughter and niece of Reverend Samuel Parris, respectively. Reverend Parris was Salem Village's first ordained minister. The two girls' behavior included making odd sounds and screaming, contorting their bodies, and throwing objects. Elizabeth and Abigail reported that an invisible being was biting and pinching them. 11-year-old Ann Putnam and other girls in Salem began acting similarly shortly after.
This may come up in the theories, but is it possible that these girls were very bored?
They were lost in the sauce. That could be the footnote of the whole Salem Witch Trial.
Lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce.
Their behavior was attributed to supernatural causes, according to a doctor's diagnosis. Though, it's worth noting that there was only one doctor in Salem Village, and he could most likely read, but not write.
Oh, that's not good.
No, it's not.
Doctors need to write.
Yeah, I mean, how's he writing prescriptions?
He's not. He's just pointing at things and saying, yup, that's a witch.
On February 9th, 1692, the girls accused 3 women for causing their bizarre outbursts after Jonathan Corwin and John Hathorne, both magistrates, pressured the girls into naming the people afflicting them. And as mentioned before, Judge Jonathan Corwin's house is one of the places we're visiting today.
So, this is the actual interior of the house back in the day. This is the parlor. This is apparently where he would discuss accusations.
In front of a big, cozy fireplace.
How are you feeling right now, Shane? Is this not cool to you to be in a place?
I love history, so.
Yeah, this is just history brought to life.
Yeah.
Shall we explore more of this house?
Yeah.
Rickety stairs. So right now we are in the master bedroom. This is where Jonathan and his wife Elizabeth would have slept.
If he could sleep at night.
He slept like a baby, to be honest. In his mind, he was doing the right thing.
Doing the Lord's work.
He was doing the Lord's work, exactly. I know you're not big on energy, but I mean, like, you kind of feel that there's.
You're nervous right now?
I don't feel amazing, let's just say that.
Right.
I mean, just considering all the things that happened. But you don't feel like a little strange that like one of the most notorious figures in the Salem Witch Trials slept right there?
It's neat. It's like being in Lincoln's bedroom.
You just compared Jonathan Corwin to Abraham Lincoln?
I mean, they both lived a long time ago.
That's literally the only two things they have in common.
Returning to the three accused women, two of them, named Sarah Good and Sarah Osborne, both professed their innocence and would eventually die as a result of the trials. However, the other accused was a woman named Tituba, the slave of Reverend Paris. Strangely, unlike the other two accused women, Tituba actually admitted to afflicting the girls, saying, quote, "The devil came to me and bid me serve him," end quote. So right now we're looking for the foundations of the former house of Reverend Paris, his family, and his slave Tituba.
So this is sort of where this was a hotbed.
This is where it all began.
According to a plaque that we found on site, it was in this house in 1692 that Tituba, Reverend Paris's slave, allegedly told the girls household stories of witchcraft.
This is crazy.
This is it. And we could actually go inside the house.
Let's go inside the house.
After you, sir. Holy shit, dude.
Ryan, I'm going in. Yeah, if there was someone practicing witchcraft in this house, you would know.
Yeah. I wonder if that was another part of it. This may have been only a part of the house they salvaged. They had to dig it up. And this may just be even just a rough outline of the foundation. Actually, let me just take a rough EMF reading.
Right after I mentioned taking an EMF reading, our audio recorder picks up a voice possibly saying, "Take it."
Actually, let me just take a rough.
Is this the voice of Reverend Paris?
Do you believe in this stuff?
This is,
stuff,
apparently some people think that ghosts can manipulate electromagnetic fields. I don't know how much I buy into it, but I'm not gonna say this is definitively a thing. Right now, it's doing normal readings, apparently. If it goes over 2 milligauss, then we're in some paranormal area, but right now it looks like it's 0. So you can see right there.
0.1.
0.
It's worth mentioning that there are some who believe Tituba was forced to confess and thereby fabricated her testimony. Regardless, Tituba's testimony is the longest in the entire Salem Witch Trials. She also detailed visions of eerie animals, including red cats, yellow birds, and black dogs. Perhaps most importantly, Tituba added that other witches were also working to harm the Puritans in Salem. With this startling confession, the trials and accusations vaulted forward, giving them a purpose and mission. Tituba was also very accommodating to the judges and claimed to go blind at one moment, a sign that the devil was punishing her for speaking so candidly about him. This showed she was at least trying to fight him. After spending a year and 3 months in jail, Tituba was not indicted and was the very last of the accused to be released.
Right now we're referring to the woman named Tituba. We know you admitted to some things that you may not have actually done. There's good evidence to show that you didn't actually do those things you were forced to. Do you have anything to say about that?
Do you think you're gonna get physically harmed out here? Is that part of it?
I don't know. Her owners were evil pieces of shit. Ooh, what?
They lived here too, Ryan.
I know.
They're probably here and they heard you.
I don't like you that. Well, okay, I'm making it worse. Let's find some ghosts.
Tituba or the Reverend Paris or any of his family, we are here to communicate with you. If ghosts are real, then call our bluff.
Well, they wouldn't know they're a ghost.
Oh. None of them know?
Right after I suggest the dead are unaware they are ghosts, our audio recorder picks up this voice.
Oh. None of them know? None of them know?
I don't think they do.
So that's a ghost saying what? And just this particular ghost happens to have a cartoon voice? So if someone's
He does
like...
sound a little bit like Lil Jon.
What? What?
He's upset. He's upset at the notion that he's a ghost. If I were to tell you right now you're dead, you
I would
probably would say,
absolutely say
what?
Skipping forward, the infamous Special Court of Oyer and Terminer was established by Governor William Phipps on May 27, 1692. 8 girls from Salem were afflicted with witchcraft and making accusations. In the court, someone would warn that a witch was about to manipulate a victim, and then the victim would begin to act strangely. In the first trial of this court, Bridget Bishop, an older woman of the community that many considered to be an immoral gossip, was determined guilty of witchcraft and later became the first person executed in the Salem Witch Trials. Between the months of July and September 1692, 18 more people were found guilty and executed, including 4 men, a rare occurrence in witch trials of the past. One of the accused men was a man named George Burroughs, a Harvard-educated minister who was accused by other alleged witches from Andover of being their mastermind. The claims made in court against Burroughs range from bizarre to batshit. The accusers claimed that he was biting them during their testimony. Their bite marks allegedly matched up with Burroughs' teeth.
I guess they would have to pre-bite themselves?
Yeah, it's not that hard. They probably just bit themselves and then showed it, and they were like, yep, it looks like teeth. Hang them.
Yeah, it's true. Don't hang them, but it is peculiar.
They didn't have like a dentist on hand. The doctors in town can't even write.
Many people in the court, not just the accusers, claimed to see spirits in the room. One girl claimed the spirits were faces of Burroughs' deceased wives, colored as red as blood, and thirsting for justice to be served to their husband. Finally, the possibility that Burroughs had used an invisibility cloak given to him by the devil was suggested by the Chief Justice.
Oh my Jesus Christ. This is so upsetting.
It's upsetting, but it's kind of funny when you think about it.
Oh my God. If you're an educated man from Harvard who was like, well, surely the Chief Justice will have something reasonable to say about this. Chief Justice, what have you to say?
I seen him use an invisibility cloak. I know he gave it to him, the devil.
Before being executed, Burroughs made an emotional speech where he recited the Lord's Prayer without any mistakes. Witches were not supposed to be able to do that, which sowed the seeds of doubt in the crowd gathered.
Apparently this whole site was also the home of George Burroughs.
If you're here, make yourselves known. I'm gonna turn out the light. Or just like wiggle some snow around. Not a lot happening.
All right, I guess it's my turn.
Yeah. Good luck.
I'm gonna scan around. If there's anybody in here right now with me, show me a sign. Maybe move something. Say something to me. I'm gonna turn off my light now. And I'm just gonna let you guys speak. Don't push me though. All right, here we go. All right, I'm gonna get out of here really quick. But since I'm leaving, I'm gonna let you know how I kind of feel about you.
As I announce that I'm leaving, we pick up another voice possibly saying, I'm not.
But since I'm leaving...
No.
No.
I think it's just people, like it's breathing or it's wind. I honestly think if you want a voice, find a voice. Don't give us garbage.
That's clearly a voice.
It's not a voice.
Okay. I found it to be compelling that it's responding intelligently to things that I'm saying.
Also, I mean, did you hear that? That was my shoes rubbing together.
Yeah, I know what that sounds like.
You didn't think that was a ghost?
I'm able to discern what shoes and voices sound like.
Right.
I think I am.
I don't think you are.
I think I am.
On October 3rd, 1692, Increase Mather implored the court not to consider spectral evidence in the trials. Around the same time, Governor Phipps' wife was brought in for interrogation. If you'll recall, Governor Phipps was the man who created the infamous Court of Oyer and Terminer. After Mather's statement and Phipps' wife being interrogated, Phipps released some of the people jailed for witchcraft, halted all further arrests, and replaced the Court of Oyer and Terminer with the Superior Court of Judicature, which was not permitted to consider testimonies of spectral evidence. Overall, 20 people were executed in the Salem Witch Trials. 14 of the 20 were women, and only 6 were men. Though official numbers vary, it's possible that a further 13 people perished while in jail on charges of witchcraft. Oddly, All of the accusers were women between 9 and 20 years old. An unusual fact due to the fact that most witch trials saw men doing the majority of the accusations.
I just want to say, when an entire community is basing their decisions around the decisions of 8 little girls.
Yeah, don't listen to children.
When the hell in history would that ever happen again where a bunch of high school kids go, hey, I think we should burn that building down. I don't like it. It's an evil building. And everyone goes, yeah.
Most importantly, none of the executed ever admitted to witchcraft. One interesting thing to note is that almost all of the people that were executed were not given a proper burial, and instead were buried in unmarked graves somewhere in the area. Where those graves lie, nobody knows. Some believe they may be buried somewhere on Gallows Hill, but regardless, according to Spellbound Tours, a Salem tour company, Gallows Hill has the reputation of being extremely haunted.
So this is Gallows Hill.
I've actually always thought it's spookier to imagine seeing a ghost in the middle of the day.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's spooky to see a ghost regardless. All right, this seems like a good spot. We're near the top of the hill. Is there anybody up here besides birds that wants to talk to me and my stupid friend? I don't think this is gonna work. I think we're gonna have to go to an alternative method.
Okay.
It occurred to me, the reason why ghosts may not talk to me and you is because you're donning a stupid jean jacket and I'm in this peak coat, but if I was in period-specific clothing, maybe they'll actually be friendlier to us. All right.
Well, I feel good. There's no
look...
pockets on this. I don't know what to do with my hands.
You don't look too happy.
Come on, ghosts.
Act more natural. Be a Puritan.
This is so dumb.
If there's anybody that wants to come talk to us, now's the time. I heard what happened here. I'm sorry to hear that.
You're ghosts.
What? We were engaging in a nice, soft conversation. You broke
we're your friends.
You gotta break the news to them a little bit better. They don't even know they're dead. That's why we're dressed up like this.
So we're tricking them. We're alive, just like you. Let's go down to the pub.
God, you're the worst.
So not a smashing success.
No, this didn't work out as well as I thought it would. I really thought it was gonna work.
We could have researched a little better.
Nobody knows why the witch trials occurred, but there are theories, so let's quickly go over a few. The first theory comes from Harvard PhD student Emily Oster, who points to an economic explanation. In the Journal of Economic Perspectives, Emily Oster suggests that the Little Ice Age that lasted between 1550 and 1800 and intensified between 1680 and 1730 caused economic problems that encouraged the population to blame one another for their hardship.
Basically, this theory is they just got bored or they needed an outlet.
Yeah, this is what happens when people are passive aggressive.
This is what happens when people don't have hobbies.
Yeah.
I think that everyone needs a hobby, and if you don't have one, odds are you're probably gonna start.
Well, they didn't have
people.
anything else to do.
That's what I'm saying. They could have played
fingers.
They could have played ice soccer or something.
The second theory comes from Linda Caporail, that the afflicted girls could have been exposed to a kind of fungus called ergot, which can be found in grains like rye, which cause convulsive ergotism. Convulsive ergotism effects include hallucinations, which are apparently similar to that of LSD, muscle contractions that resemble seizures, vertigo, and crawling and tingling sensations. In addition to rye being commonly grown in the colony, the moisture in the air and the grain's lengthy storage time could have increased the likelihood of ergot infestation. However, the girls showed no other visible signs of this illness, which include disintegrating fingertips.
I don't buy that one.
I mean, I think it's nice that someone maybe did their homework and maybe could provide a medical solution to this other than, oh, people are crazy sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more fun to believe that humans are capable of some truly horrific things.
The third theory is that mass hysteria played a part in the witch trials. It's accepted in most literature written about the Salem Witch Trials that some level of hysteria was at work in Salem during this time. The word hysteria is used throughout most descriptions of the Salem Witch Trials.
This is like those people in France.
Oh God, you and the fucking people in France.
It's a real thing that happened. All those people danced till they died.
Loosely, it's kind of loosely true.
Not loose. Do you need to look up the body count on that thing?
I'll look it up
Those
again.
people fucking danced until they died.
That's true. Well, if you're gonna go out, that's a good way to go out.
Yeah, that's true.
The fourth theory comes from one of the people in the community at the time of the trials. A Salem merchant named Robert Califf accused Reverend Parris of exploiting the trials for socio-political gain in the community. He proposed that Reverend Parris forced his slave Tituba to admit to witchcraft so he could use the resulting paranoia to seize back his diminishing power in Salem Village.
I love this theory.
It's a pretty strong one.
It's a strong one, and it came from someone in the community at that time.
Yeah.
I wonder if he got shot after he said that.
I don't know.
I haven't heard about him since, so he probably died.
To wrap up the theories, and I hesitate to even list it as a theory, but I imagine, considering the fact that people at the time believed it, and because there's been so many movies about it, there are some out there that actually entertain the idea that Salem witches were a real thing. And I would like to express my own opinion on this notion. No fucking way.
Great, thank you. Thank you for once.
Wait, did you actually entertain the idea that I may believe in witchcraft?
It's really not that outlandish to think that you would believe that.
In the end, nobody knows for sure what caused the Salem Witch Trials, but what is known for certain are the unjust fates of the victims. In 1957, the state of Massachusetts apologized for the Salem Witch Trials. In 1992, 300 years after the trials, the Witch Trials Memorial in Salem was dedicated by Nobel laureate author and Holocaust survivor Elie Wiesel.
All right, so right now we're at the Witch Trial Memorials. Every one of these benches has a name on it of someone who was either executed or died in jail during the trials. As you can see, it's quite a bit. Obviously, these are here because they don't know where the bodies are, for most of them. So that's why the benches are here. Let's see if we can clear a couple. Yeah, just Mary Parker hanged September 22nd.
It's a lot of people.
This is pretty crazy. You know, when you're standing in here and like in this little empty courtyard and you just see all the benches, it really is spooky, but also like beautiful in a way. This is eerie.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I feel uncomfortable just because of the avalanche of history that's happening and converging in this spot, or if it's because there's something here, but either way, I'd like to leave.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
After all these years, the questions remain. Are there spirits left behind from Salem's troubled history? Why did these trials even happen? Both questions may forever remain unsolved.
All I'm saying, if there's a town full of people who are all like you, this is what happens.
I feel like if there was
people start dying.
If there was a town of people who all thought like I did back in the day, I don't think anything would get done because they'd hear a lot of the howling in the woods and they'd just be like, oh fuck, and they'd just run, and they'd all eventually die by themselves.
They'd start killing each other. If there were a town full of me in the Puritan times, we'd have landed on the moon in 1790.
I don't think so.
Absolutely.
I think you'd all just sit around and talk bullshit all day. Just sit in the town circle and, you know,
we talk about
stroke each other about mathematical equations and science.
I was gonna say math, but yeah.
There you go.
I think you might intellectualize too much.
That's 100%.
That's 100% true.
I don't want to murder you.
I never said I wanted to murder you.
You want to kill me.
That seems like a good idea. Let's lock ourselves in the murder room. I'm leaving. Too late. You lost your chance. What the? This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we cover the practice of voodoo. Can it actually be used to contact spirits? Right now, we're sitting on top of Lake Pontchartrain in New Orleans, a city rich with voodoo history. And later, we'll actually attempt to use voodoo to try and contact spirits. We're gonna have a good teacher with us too, so I'm very excited.
All right. We'll see.
We've got a lot to cover, and I really don't know what to expect, so let's get into it.
The origins of voodoo are unknown, but most agree it came from West Africa, particularly the region of Benin, where the word voodoo means spirit.
So right now we're at Voodoo Authentica. It's an authentic voodoo shop, as the name would suggest, and we're gonna learn a little bit about voodoo. It's a push.
Push it.
I didn't see the sign.
I know.
Let's go over the basics. It is believed voodoo derives from the tradition of ancestor worship and animism, the belief that nature and inanimate objects contain consciousness. Voodoo practitioners believe in one God, and that there are many spirits who have power over humans and nature. They are referred to as Loa.
We have more than 25 different working altars.
Okay, what do you mean by altars?
These are places that people come and pray and leave gifts at for specific spirits. Each Orisha and Loa have their own spheres of influence.
This one over here looks very feminine and...
Very feminine indeed.
Yeah.
She is love and attraction. She's more the pulling towards you of love.
And it seems like some people put little tiny relics or gifts, other people just straight up like the uncle on your birthday who just gives you money. Just throwing down a...
And?
What else we got? Oh, booze.
Oh, the bubbly. Even in the afterlife, it is appreciated.
Probably a good one.
While voodoo has gotten a bad reputation over years of misinformation, it is actually a very positive practice and is often used to call on spirits to help the sick and needy and guide one through life's struggles.
So the negative connotation, that's all.
You know, people think voodoo's used as this evil thing where I'm gonna make a little Shane doll and then throw it into the ocean and watch it drown and then really smile while he's sinking.
Wait, what?
Stuff like that.
You just said that this is not what they're used for.
Yeah, I know, but if they were used for that,
You would kill me. You would murder me.
It isn't hypothetical. I wasn't thinking of doing that.
Ryan,
Smile.
sometimes we argue on this show. I don't want to murder you.
I never said I wanted to murder you.
You want to kill me.
This is a hypothetical situation.
All right,
You don't know
continue to tell me about voodoo, now that I know you want me dead.
I didn't ever say, you know what?
Oh,
okay.
This feels great.
Voodoo would eventually make its way to America via the slave trade, and New Orleans would eventually play home to perhaps the biggest figure in American voodoo history, Marie Laveau, also known as the Voodoo Queen of New Orleans.
It's said that her spirit walks this entire cemetery. Obviously, we can't get in because a lot of people vandalized the tomb.
But we can't see her actual...
No, but we could be at the gates, so to speak, spiritually and physically. Marie!
Oh, really? Okay. Marie!
Hold on. Marie!
No, that's not gonna do anything.
Marie!
No.
Can you see over this normally without jumping?
Actually, yeah.
It was here at Lake Pontchartrain in New Orleans that Marie Laveau would hold voodoo gatherings on the shores. Journalists would spread stories of infamous orgies and sacrificial rituals that would occur at this lake on St. John's Eve.
Sacrificial rituals.
And enormous orgies.
I don't know why that one slipped by me. I was like, yeah, sure, orgies. Tell me about ritual?
The negative connotations of voodoo proliferated by the media likened voodoo to savagery, and towards the end of the 19th century, voodoo had to go underground in New Orleans. Now that we've established the history of voodoo in New Orleans, let's get into the actual practice of it. One of New Orleans' more famous practitioners is a woman named Bloody Mary. Lucky for us, she has agreed to teach us the ways of the spiritual world.
Holy moly.
And as you can see, the house is quite a sight.
That is a hue.
It's actually supposed to be haunted itself. I imagine because of all the communication that happens here.
Oh yeah, it's probably like a hotspot or something, huh?
There.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Andre.
Ryan, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Ryan.
Shane, nice
Shane, nice to meet you. Spirits, Ryan, Shane, Andre.
Okay, all
I'm
right.
so excited.
I am initiated as Mambo Asagwe, which is the highest level in Haitian voodoo, as well as Voodoo Queen in New Orleans tradition.
This is an amazing room.
Thank you. It's got good energy. I'm glad you're not afraid of it.
No, I'm not afraid yet.
Good, good,
This
good.
house feels really nice to me.
You will be, but... You will be.
I mean, yeah, it's true.
Well, some people just are afraid of things that feel different than what they're used to. You know, and automatically jump to conclusions that it's gonna be dark or evil and jumping just because it's, you know, vibratory. It's different.
Yeah.
And you have to get that out of your head and just let it flow.
I'm very fascinated and interested, and I'm not afraid of these things.
I think you might intellectualize too much.
That's 100%.
That's
true.
100% true.
We both just have to go blank.
We're both
Yep.
on the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, and we need to just
find the middle. Find your balance.
Let's never do that again.
That's what the world
Nope, not
needs to
doing
do,
it.
by
Not
the
doing it
way.
again.
Find the balance.
I'll do it one more
you
time.
know?
There we go.
Oh, in fact, I'm gonna give some right now. I'm gonna feed the spirits. I'll give them libations. We might drum, we might dance. To the spirits that are here, this is to Allison.
Oh. So now that we've established the basic history of voodoo,
Sure.
What are we getting into tonight?
What I do is created, I call voodoo paranormal. So I mix old school with new school. Basically, I just open gates, and when we're done, I close gates. So I want them to come out while they're there, and then I want them to go back and do what they gotta do when they're done and not follow.
So this is sort of a night out with spirits.
Yeah.
New Orleans is unique due to their above-ground cemeteries. The cemeteries are sometimes referred to as the cities of the dead.
It's fascinating how people that don't even consider themselves psychic or in tune pick right up on what's going on or what went on there.
I'm definitely not psychic. I'm just a guy who's interested in this stuff and gets a little dizzy sometimes.
I still think that everyone is psychic, just to different abilities. It's a natural part of us as humans.
It's only appropriate that we would walk by these cities, making ourselves familiar with the spirits of the melting pot of New Orleans, before ultimately reaching out to them in a location that was one of the spiritual beacons of the city, the former site of the Voodoo Spiritual Temple.
Why are you knocking?
I always knock. That's a ritual gesture, letting them know we're coming, warning them.
Is this a thing you recommend for anyone, anywhere?
Yes, it's kind of a thing of respect, and it's a very simple ritual gesture. Knocking 3 times, lets them know you know they're there. Yes. Knocking the way in, knocking the way out. Come on in.
Built in 1829, this 2-story cottage has gone through many incarnations, with the Voodoo Temple being the most recent. However, on February 1st, 2016, the temple suffered a tragic electrical fire and now lies vacant.
So this is the mirror image of the other side.
Yeah.
Still a lot more construction going on here. This would have been Priestess Miriam's spiritual temple.
So we're looking at bare bones right now.
Bare bones, just put the sheetrock up and left some of the original old 200-year-old brick walls exposed for you. We're gonna go through this threshold and I'm going to open the way before we do. So I'm gonna do that ritually. I'm gonna have you walk through it and then I'm gonna have you wander on your own, okay?
You look so scared already.
I've been more comfortable.
Papa legba plante poto, plante poto. So, Guardian of the Crossroads has a symbol signature, a geometric design known as a veve. To all the spirits of all directions, we call upon you. The spirits of fire, we want you to come through. The spirits of water, we call upon you. And the spirits of air, we request you. The spirits of earth, we give offerings as well to feed your way. Do y'all have some coins? I need some coins of the realm.
Here's some coins right here.
Throw them on in. I, Bloody Mary, I, Voodoo Queen, I, Mary Milan, I, La Cocro, I, with many names in the past, in the present, and in the future. Call upon the spirits of place through Papa Legba. We ask that we may communicate with you, may we see you, may we hear you, may we feel you, may we photograph you with great respect. Open the way. I present my friends. Please state your full name.
Ryan Stephen Vergara.
And?
Shane Alexander Madej.
We call upon them. We let you open the way for them to come through today. Open the way. Come on in. Ooh. It is best that you walk through backwards.
Why is that?
Well, everything is supposed to be seen from the mirror image in Voodoo, so it's kind of like you're coming through.
So I guess
born again. You don't have to. Really, you should come through dancing.
Oh.
And I will.
And this is a joyous. Okay. I'm in, Ryan.
I see that.
Oh, look at that.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. It's good. So let's see if we could find anything.
Wait.
That's a gator head.
Yeah, turn around.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay.
What are we doing in this room?
Reaching out.
Okay.
Apparently this was a gift shop in the former Voodoo Spiritual Temple.
Wait, you sell like magnets and stuff?
After I mention we're standing in the former Voodoo Temple gift shop, we pick up a voice possibly saying, yeah.
New spiritual temple.
Do they sell like magnets and stuff? I mean, to be fair, full disclosure, this place was on a street and there were people walking past here and there. So,
sure.
Just want to put that out there.
We also pick up a strange whimper.
You want to say anything to me or the little guy?
What about to the giant? What about to the giant?
I do find that more compelling than any of the other dumb ones you've dug up. But again, we are on a street here.
What on the street could possibly make that noise? First off, that does not sound distant. This one sounds like it's literally in the room with us.
What about to the giant?
I don't know.
Anytime I could get you to do that shrug, it means I'm making great
victory
points.
for you?
It's a great point. It makes my heart warm. Bizarrely, while the first floor of the building served as a voodoo temple, the second floor was rented out as an apartment and is also reportedly haunted. There's accounts of footsteps, shadows, and rocks being thrown.
Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
That's Jody.
The doll?
Mm-hmm.
What's her deal?
She will be the overseer of the haunted nursery of dolls that I'm going to have.
I'm gonna buy you one of those for Christmas.
Shut up, Shane. Is there a reason why there's a circle of rocks in this little door?
Maybe. That's really weird.
What's that?
I just didn't know any of the electric was on.
Oh.
So that is weird.
That's good.
I didn't, Can you reach up and pull a string and see what happens? That's so weird.
Huh.
The switches didn't do anything, and I don't have it turned on.
We have some visitors tonight. Or maybe
Well, there hasn't been electric in here in over a year.
Strange.
Because of the fire. Any physical sensations that you're feeling in there?
Ryan, put away your fear and just focus on what you feel.
I'm gonna sit in this chair.
Get your feet on the ground and ground into the moment. It's that place in between.
Okay.
It's where you can stop and zone like you did. If you can do that at will, wherever you are, kind of
go in that in-between place. That's where you're gonna connect with the spirit world.
I'm gonna just close my eyes and just...
I'm bad at feeling. I want to be swept up in this. I really want to believe in something outside the norms of, physics.
What are you sensing?
I don't sense anything dark in this room. I don't
I'm
feel...
not asking about anything dark. It doesn't have to do with dark.
I feel happier.
Ryan's having a rough time tonight. Poor guy.
Any reason why you think you feel happier?
Because I'm not scared right now.
Even two in my head.
Maybe it's because if there's something here, it feels like it's scared too, maybe. Like a kid.
And have you ever been a scared kid?
Yep, all the time.
I took an improv comedy class once because I'm a white guy, and they said, just get out of your head. I can't, though. It's a prison.
Do you know what the source of that fear, when it began?
No. I always felt like something was watching me in the dark when I was little.
I've always got to think about stuff, Like this mannequin in this tub. What's he doing here? Yeah, I'm not picking up on it. Let's go see what Ryan's doing.
Well, there's probably a source that triggered it when you were a child. You find that source, you might dissolve some of your fears.
I'm returning. Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt.
He's channeling. And you are correct. There's a little boy here. Little boy, I call him Abe. He had requested stones, 10 stones. Actually, he requested jacks. I'm gonna leave y'all alone for a while. I'm gonna go grab something to eat. I'm only gonna close the front door. The vagrant world doesn't get in. The spirit world is in your hands till I get back.
While Shane and I go change batteries, our audio recorder continued rolling inside the little boy's cupboard and picked up some peculiar noises.
What if he talked when we were gone? Oh my god, I just got the chills thinking of that. That's fucking crazy.
You kind of hear the whispering there?
No.
Okay. There, right there. Did you hear that?
The wood or whatever?
The cupboard, yeah.
So the takeaway here is every little sound is a ghost.
No, the takeaway here is that sounds that don't belong in that environment may or may not be ghosts.
Okay. I'm gonna side with may not. Anybody else in here at all? I'm gonna turn the light out. My jacket just moved in a way that it felt like somebody touched me on the shoulder. And if I think you had felt it, you would scream.
Anybody else in here?
Turning the light out now.
Wait, did you actually just comment on something that may have been paranormal?
No, I said it was the way my jacket moved. It like, you wear a jean jacket? These things are...
There it is.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for the logical explanation.
There you go.
Although this second floor apartment is the apparent home of a little boy, it was actually the real home of 2 other individuals. And in 2006, this apartment would play home to perhaps the most grisly murder in New Orleans history, earning it the name the Rampart Street Murder House.
This is the room where there was just writing all over the wall by Zach. He painted on the wall.
Oh, he did? Can you see any of it still?
I don't think so.
On October 5th, 2006, Zachary Bowen brutally murdered and dismembered his girlfriend and roommate, Addie Hall. He jumped to his death off the Omni Royal Orleans Hotel roughly 11 days later. Police found a suicide note on his body that read, quote, "This is not accidental. I had to take my own life to pay for the one I took. If you send a patrol car to 826 North Rampart, you will find the dismembered corpse of my girlfriend Addie in the oven, on the stove, and in the fridge, and a full signed confession from myself," end quote.
There is like a thickness to this room. All right, I'm gonna put the, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna put the EVP on the stove, which unfortunately is the same stove and oven as, you know, and it's also the same fridge.
One thing worth noting is that despite speculation, these deaths had nothing to do with the voodoo temple downstairs, as Zach and Addie did not practice voodoo. Regardless, as a result of this horrible crime, the kitchen that still stands today is perhaps the darkest part of this house.
Oh shit, you closing that door? Oh, how about that? Let's do that. That seems like a good idea. Let's lock ourselves in the murder room.
We'll turn our lights off. I'll step out.
Wait, what? That was never part of the bargain.
Ryan, you have to face your fears.
I think you just want to see me freak out. That's what I think.
That's
Don't
not
try
true.
and frame it like you're trying to help me, you dick. I know exactly what you're after.
How about I go first?
Fine. Okay, let's do 2 minutes.
Okay. Here we go. If there's anyone here, feel free to reach out to me.
I'm gonna die in there.
If maybe there's a restless spirit of the victim.
Oh boy.
Tell me your name.
This room isn't as bad as that room, despite the fact that there was, you know, painted manifestos of a madman over the walls of this.
A lot of times I just do these because I know how much Ryan will hate it.
I think the creepiest detail in that case. What the fuck was that? Oh shit, the fuck was that?
Ryan's outside right now. He's having a harder time out there. So far, nothing. And now I'm about 10 seconds away from Ryan entering the room, and his mind will eat itself. And it's going to be wonderful. All right, that's 2 minutes.
Oh, fuck.
I don't really want to talk about what happened in there, so why don't you head in?
Shut up, Shane.
I want to talk about what happened in there. Make sure you turn your light out. I'll close it for you.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay, 34. 2 minutes, Ryan. Come on, you can do this. I'm really sorry what happened to you in here. For both of you, I think maybe you weren't in your right mind. Oh, I'm not talking to anybody. You know what? I don't know what am I doing here.
Interesting that he's talking to them. Always forgets that.
Kind of regret. Is there anybody in here right now? If there's anybody in here right now, show me a sign. I'm gonna leave forever in a second here. I'll gladly do so.
Almost halfway there.
Okay. It's fine, Ryan. It's fine. 1 minute and you're gonna be out of here. You're gonna be fine by yourself. Hopefully I'm gonna fucking cry. This is your last chance. that one of you?
No.
Did you just tug on my shirt?
No, we're not in the room
I'm
with
not
you.
talking to you. Oh, shit. That was a good trick.
Okay.
Did you touch the door?
No.
There's something creeping up in the attic. I'm leaving. Too late. You lost your chance. What the fuck, you Shane? Open the door. Typical.
We have fun.
Hilarious.
Okay, great. Anything spooky?
Something I think tugged on my shirt. I don't want to talk about it. I want to leave. I think Bloody Mary's gonna come meet back up with us. Maybe close the door.
Okay.
But I really don't know.
You just don't want to be up here anymore.
I don't want to be up in this room anymore.
Okay.
Please.
Let's
leave.
Jesus Christ.
That was a good scream.
Should we be on this side?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
We thank all the spirits from all the directions and the spirits of house. The ones we know, the ones we don't know. We thank them for letting us have a glimpse into their life. And like Buzz open the gates, we now ask to close the way. Ashe. Ayi-bo-bo.
All right, so what'd you think?
That was pretty fascinating.
I gotta tell you, I'm really transfixed with this world.
I know, it sounds like we do have to meet in the middle, which we did not tonight. But maybe in the future.
No.
I don't know, Ryan.
I don't think so.
I think we'll get there.
I doubt it.
You gotta learn to not be so scared, though.
I think you need to learn how to start seeing things for what they are.
I think you need to learn how to shut the hell up.
I think you need to learn how to shut the fuck up. I stepped it up with a bigger curse word there.
Yeah, that was...
We're losing track here.
Yeah.
In the end, voodoo remains a respected practice in New Orleans. I can say that after experiencing it firsthand, I now understand that it's not the negative force that it's made out to be, but rather can be used negatively when in the hands of the wrong person. Understanding that it requires faith, whether or not voodoo can be definitively utilized to contact the spirit world, will remain unsolved.
I'm not even trying to be like a jerk about this. I'm just getting tired of you asking me if I get scared about things that I don't believe in.
Well, one day I think you'll just finally wisen up.
It's like asking me if, like... Never mind.
Wait, finish the thought. Finish it.
I was gonna say, it's like asking me if I'm concerned that when I fall asleep, the moon turns around and winks at me with a big evil face and has a boner or something. And I'm like, oh, of course not, because that's not real.
Does the moon wear pants then to cover up its boner at all times?
I don't know. I have never
Why
thought
have I
about
never seen
that.
the moon's boner?
Because you just have to believe in it, Ryan.
This is the dumbest example you've ever given. It's dumber than the Die Hard one.
I think the moon having a boner is about as realistic as ghosts.
No, I know
Yeah.
it is not.
The dark side of the moon
Okay,
having
poll.
a giant...
Everyone in the comments tell me what is more probable, the moon having a boner or ghosts being real.
The dark side of the moon just
no.
has a giant dusty boner. That's about as real as ghosts.
Alrighty, so that's the end of BuzzFeed Unsolved Supernatural.
Forever.
No, just for the season.
Okay, great.
Thank you all for watching.
Thank you.
We truly appreciate all your support, and we are going to be back, though, for BuzzFeed Unsolved True Crime, right? Jesus Christ, this is terrible. We are going to be back soon, actually very soon.
Oh, sooner than you think.
Way sooner than you need, for BuzzFeed Unsolved True Crime. That's going to be 10 episodes, so hopefully you come along with us for that, too.
It's going to be super depressing and bloody and gory. Oh, it's going to be sick.
All right. Ryan out? I don't know.
Shane out?
Shane,
Is that what we're doing
I don't
now?
think that's what
I
we're
don't think
doing.
that's what we're doing.
See you guys later. See you soon.
Bye!
This is it. The infamous Lizzie Borden House. You have any idea what happened in there?
No, I'm in the dark on this one.
Well, let's just say that some brutal murders happened in there that would lend itself to being haunted.
Okay, all right.
I'm also freezing, so as scary as it is in there, let's get inside.
Let's go in.
You can't go in through the front anymore. You have to go in through the back. You ready for this?
Shit. So apparently this room is haunted by children.
Go get a toy.
How about like a baby?
Yeah, baby's good.
Or a little
baby in a ball.
Baby in
Give
a-
that baby a basketball. Make the baby hold the basketball.
Are you PDing this? Holy shit. This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate the Lizzie Borden house as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real? A house that had such a tragic murder inside of it, or should I say murders, should be haunted.
Yeah, but why is it only them? Why is someone who choked on a peanut doesn't get a ghost?
I don't know, that's not how things work.
Let's yuck it up then.
Okay, great. All right, let's get into it.
On August 4th, 1892 in Fall River, Massachusetts, the bodies of Andrew and Abby Borden were found hacked to death in their home. Both of the Bordens were believed to be killed with a hatchet or an axe. Abby Borden had been axed 18 times, and Andrew Borden had been axed 11 times. Their bodies were found in different spots in the house. As far as evidence, only one thing concrete was found: a handleless hatchet in the basement that was clean of blood. Let's establish who lived in the house at the time. There was 32-year-old Lizzie Borden, her 41-year-old sister Emma Borden, her father Andrew Borden, her stepmother Abby Borden, her uncle John Morse, who was visiting from out of town, and the family maid Bridget Sullivan, who the family called Maggie. It's worth mentioning that Emma Borden was out of town at the time of the murders.
So the woman who was murdered, she was the stepmother to the two daughters that lived with him.
You know, people don't like their stepmothers.
They don't.
I guess that's not fair to a large amount of stepmothers.
I mean, that's
I'm sure
like
there's a lot of
widely
ones.
perpetuated by the media,
Yeah.
or like any movie you see the evil stepmother. There's never like, oh, my stepmother, she's a real doll.
So you think like 90% of people who have stepmothers are like, oh, my stepmother, I'd love to bury an axe in her face.
Now let's examine the timeline of the day of the murder, according to eyewitness testimony. At around 10:40 a.m., Andrew Borden takes a nap on the living room couch. At this time, Mrs. Borden was believed to be at the doctor's office. At about 10:50 to 10:55 a.m., Lizzie claims she is in the backyard barn. Maggie, the family maid, claimed to be taking a nap in her room upstairs. At around 11:15 a.m., Lizzie in the backyard reportedly heard a, quote, heavy fall and a subdued groaning, end quote. According to Lizzie, on her approach to the house, she noticed the screen door was now open and goes inside. Maggie, the maid, had not yet fallen asleep when she heard Lizzie Borden crying out, quote, come down quick, father's dead, somebody's come in and killed him, end quote. Maggie ran down the stairs to see the brutal murder scene of Andrew Borden laying across the couch. Maggie also noted that the distraught Lizzie Borden was wearing a blue, unstained dress. There was no sign of a struggle, as Mr. Borden was believed to be asleep when he was murdered.
This is where it happened. So you walk down, I don't know if it was this staircase or the other staircase, but this is where she found Mr. Borden laying down.
Was it on this exact couch?
I don't know if it was this exact couch, but it sure as hell looks like the exact couch. I mean, look at the picture, it's over here.
Is that his head?
That was his head.
Good Lord.
Right after Shane speaks, our audio recorder catches a female voice possibly saying, help me.
Good Lord.
Is this the voice of Mrs. Borden?
Andrew, this look familiar?
Oh my God.
Yeah, is this?
That's so fucked up. Just get away from me. What's wrong with you?
Can you imagine though, that's the last thing you see?
No, I can't imagine that. I would never want to imagine that. Are you imagining that?
Yes, I am.
Well, there's something wrong with you. Mr. Borden, if you're here right now, show me a sign. Should we turn the light off?
Yeah, we can turn the light off.
Okay. All right, we're gonna turn the light off. 3, 2, 1. Was that you?
No.
Where did you hear it? Where's it coming from?
Somewhere in this room.
Is it this room or that room?
I think it wasn't here.
Interesting.
Shortly after, Lizzie asked Maggie to go find the doctor across the street. At this time, the whereabouts of Mrs. Borden were unknown. Maggie returned to the house with a neighbor and claimed that Lizzie said this about Abby Borden, quote, oh Maggie, I am almost sure I heard her come in. Go upstairs and see if she is there, end quote. Maggie and the neighbor walked upstairs to discover to their horror the body of Abby Borden laying face down on the floor of the guest bedroom. It was thought that Mrs. Borden may have been present for the murder of Mr. Borden and fled to the guest bedroom, where she was also murdered.
That's strange because
Why?
If your pa is laying there, his head turned to blood oatmeal, and you hear Ma come in, you're probably not just like, oh, I wonder what she's up to today. You're probably like, hey, Ma, you should probably come here. Not just, oh, I wonder if she's going to go take a little nap. Right?
Yeah, I got a life-changing thing to tell you here.
Yeah. Got some heavy news. Not, oh, yeah, I think she ducked in. We should probably give her a little howler. Yeah. Let her know.
Also, the fact that she goes, look upstairs. I think I may have heard her go up that way, and that's where they find the body.
Yeah.
So you can start to see where things start to pile up against her. So this is where Abby Borden was actually found. They walked up the stairs, much like we just did, and from that little landing, they saw her feet right there. And they actually thought she may have just fainted or something like that because she saw her husband dead downstairs. But when they looked at her, I mean, obviously you can see the pictures right there. That's how they found her.
Oh my goodness.
And look at her head. Jesus Christ.
That
is fucking awful.
Abby, if you're here right now.
If you're here right now, or if anybody's here right now, make a noise. What the fuck was that? It's just probably furniture creaking. We're gonna leave. I'm gonna ask one final question.
Oh, I was just gonna yell, showtime.
Okay, I'll ask the question, then you could yell showtime. How about that?
Okay.
Who killed you?
Showtime!
Both of the Bordens were struck in the head multiple times, suggesting a crime of passion. And with that, let's get into the suspects, starting with the top suspect, Lizzie Borden. To this day, many believe that Lizzie is guilty. Let's examine why, starting with her potential motive. At the time of his death, Andrew Borden was very wealthy. His net worth at the time would be around $10 million in today's standards. However, despite this wealth, Andrew was reportedly a bit of a penny pincher. In trial, Maggie testified that the Borden family lived frugally and ate a mutton-based diet. Lizzie reportedly smiled as this was being described.
Maybe she's thinking back on the good old mutton days.
Or maybe she's like, no mutton for me anymore.
No more mutton for me, father.
Did they describe the smile, though? Was it sort of like...
No, they didn't describe this.
Or was it like...
Was it smug, you mean? Or was it like...
Yeah, like, because there's the nostalgia, like...
That was the good days.
The good old days.
But then there's like the slight smirk.
There's the...
It's like the smug, like, took care of that. Not for me anymore. So this is the master bedroom. This is where Mr. and Mrs. Borden slept.
It reminds me of Downton Abbey a little bit. It's very proper. I feel like a little fancy little lord in this room.
Well, one of the things that's supposed to piss Mr. Borden off is he was very frugal. So that's why you see money right here by his picture.
Uh-huh.
People leave it there, and people also report being scratched if you take his money.
Oh.
Of course, yeah. You're just gonna take it all. You're not gonna leave a little bit. Leave a penny at least.
I'll leave him a penny.
He was a penny pincher. Leave him a penny.
I'm not doing this because I want to steal. I'm doing this because I want to give the ghosts significant reason to haunt me.
Okay.
You know? I want them to be upset with me.
I think they're already inherently upset with you.
I stole from you. You hear me?
I think they could sense energy. Mr. Borden, who killed you?
Was it you?
The cat.
5 years before the murders, Lizzie had a falling out with her stepmother Abby that resulted in Lizzie going from calling Abby mother to Mrs. Borden. The dispute was over Mr. Borden buying a house for Abby's half-sister, rather than Lizzie and her sister Emma. And sure enough, after Mr. and Mrs. Borden's murders, 32-year-old Lizzie and her 41-year-old sister Emma inherited the estate and later bought a house on a hill in a wealthy neighborhood in Fall River.
Cool.
So
that's pretty cool.
They didn't waste time going to work with that money.
Well, would you?
I think I'd give it a little bit of a grace period.
If people were already like, we think you murdered them, I'd be like,
so you're
fine,
telling me
I
right
guess
now,
I'll spend their money.
If your parents got killed.
Yeah, I hope not, because Mark and Sherry Madej are saints.
Okay, great. But you're saying your first move is, let's head on over to Chase Bank and make a deposit, or make a withdrawal.
I mean, if they're not going to spend it.
Holy shit.
When asked if her father had previously mentioned a will to her, Lizzie said, quote, "He did not," end quote. Moving on from motive, during her inquest testimony, Lizzie's answers were sometimes wildly inconsistent. Lizzie also reportedly burned a dress of hers after the murders, claiming there was paint on it. However, this was not the dress she was seen wearing the day of the murders. That dress was actually handed over to the police. The day of the murders, the housemaid Mackey saw Lizzie wearing an unstained blue dress. Lizzie could perhaps have committed the murder and then changed while Mackey was reportedly sleeping, but the time frame for that would have been extremely slim, and dresses in that time period were a bit of a process to take on and off, so this seems unlikely.
She could have gotten a dress on, that's not that hard.
Apparently it was pretty hard. I'd like to see you put on a dress from that time period. That came out weird, I could have worded that better. I would not like to see you in a dress, I would like you to try. You know what? You get what I'm saying.
Move along.
Okay. Another damning detail came from a pharmacist who testified at Lizzie's trial that she had tried to buy a poison called prussic acid the day before her father and stepmother were killed. However, this testimony was dismissed. Other than a possible motive and circumstantial pieces of evidence, there was no physical evidence that implicated Lizzie in the murders. The hatchet that was found in the basement was clean. At the end of the trial, Lizzie was found not guilty. However, many people still believed Lizzie was guilty. In fact, there was even a creepy schoolyard rhyme that goes, quote, Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks, and when she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41, end quote. All right, so we're about to go into Lizzie's room. Big bad Lizzie Borden. I didn't feel so weird in the other rooms, but I do feel very uncomfortable in here.
Oh yeah?
There's her right there.
Why, Lizzie?
Maybe let's both say the thing, and maybe that'll get her out.
Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41.
Strangely, as soon as we finish reciting the Lizzie Borden rhyme, our audio recorder starts to pick up bizarre interference. It does this again when we whisper it.
What if we whisper it?
Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, gave her father 41. Lizzie?
I'm getting out of here. We've disrespected this room too much.
She's gonna kill us
She's gonna
tonight.
fucking... Ew, we're sleeping here. We can't even run away. The second suspect is John Vinicum Morse, a theory recently made popular by a Massachusetts math teacher named Richard Little, who wrote a book on the case that listed John Morse as the possible killer. John Morse was the brother of Mr. Borden's first wife and Lizzie's uncle. Interestingly, according to Lizzie in the case timeline, Morse was not seen from 9 a.m. until noon, after the murders had occurred. According to Little, John Morse's alibi to the police was that he was visiting a sick relative down the road during the time of the murders, along with the town doctor. However, the same town doctor was also looking over the bodies of Mr. and Mrs. Borden, a bizarre contradiction in his story. Furthermore, Mrs. Borden was found dead in the guest bedroom that Morse had reportedly slept in the night before.
That's
Morse right there.
Look at his stare.
So let's talk to him now.
Oh, what's his name? Morris?
John Morris.
John Morris, come on, buddy. Time's a-ticking. Show up, murder us. Be the first ghost to murder someone in history. We'll get it on film. You'll be famous.
All right, you got 1 minute, John. Say something. You don't have to get violent. Ten, 9,
8.
I'm counting in my head.
Oh, okay.
I was giving him the chance to talk. Now I gotta start it over. Also, according to Lizzie's inquest testimony, Morse may have known about her father's will. Here's a transcript of that interaction. Question, did you know of your father making a will? Answer, no sir, except I heard somebody say once that there was one several years ago. That is all I ever heard. Question, who did you hear say so? Answer, I think it was Mr. Morse. Question, what Morse? Answer, Uncle John V. Morse. Little also cites a failing livestock business between Morris and Mr. Borden as a possible motive. Little additionally believes that Morris may have used a meat cleaver to kill the Bordens, as John Morris was also a butcher for his profession. So, there are some things. He had a failing business with Mr. Borden. He knew about a will. They don't really know where he was at a certain amount of time, and he was a butcher. Those are 4 pieces of circumstantial evidence that make him just as much of a suspect in my mind.
Yeah, he seems the toe and toe there with...
Maybe not toe and toe.
Neck and neck?
Probably a better way to say that, given the context of the story. What?
Neck and neck.
Yeah.
Both of them seem dubious as hell, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, I could go with that. The third suspect is the family maid, Maggie. Maggie had gone upstairs to sleep in her bedroom a floor above the guest room where Mrs. Borden was murdered. Maggie, in her own testimony, claims she may not have been fully asleep at the time of the murders, yet somehow she did not hear the brutal murder only 1 floor below. In fact, the room that we're talking in is the room that actually belonged to Maggie. What are you doing?
I'm trying to put myself in her shoes. I feel like I would hear it downstairs. Do you want me to go down there and make a thud noise?
Yeah, why not? It's pretty light, but I could hear it. And if I'm trying to fall asleep, I feel like I hear everything. Piggybacking on the previous theory, some feel that it is too coincidental that a person could sneak into the house in broad daylight, with 2 people inside or around the house at the time. Which brings us to our 4th and final suspect, or rather, suspects, with the unsubstantiated theory that Lizzie and Maggie the maid conspired to kill the Bordens together. This theory has been the subject of many fan fiction, where Lizzie and Maggie were romantically involved. Some versions have Lizzie's stepmother discovering the romance, to which they kill her and then kill her father to cover it up. Fans of this theory point to the fact that Lizzie later in her life reportedly had a crush on an actress, a point that some feel caused her sister Emma to move out of the home they shared. Other than that, this theory has no evidence backing it. I could see that.
It would answer a lot of questions too. About the dress, trying to get that dress on?
Oh yeah, because really her only way out of that is saying, I saw her with the dress, it was clean.
Yeah.
And then Lizzie saying nothing about her. So like they're both helping each other with their alibis.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But you know me, I'm a fan of conspiracy theories. But this one
doesn't I was gonna say, this doesn't seem that crazy to me.
No, right? Okay, good. I felt like I'm on edge here.
Because there are certain elements of each of their stories that don't seem to add up, but then when you put them together,
wait, are we agreeing right now? Am I on base here?
Yeah, you're on base.
So I win.
I mean, I'm not saying ghosts are real. I'm saying
No, you just said that.
No, I did not say that.
Now that we've gone over the history and explored the house, let's move on to the final phase of the investigation. Sleeping in the house.
Can you imagine if you got sleep paralysis in this room?
Oh my God, why would you fucking say that right before we're about to sleep in here?
Like you lifted your head up and you saw a face in the window.
Dude, why would you say that? You know one of my great fears is a face
just shows up in the mirror.
That sounds like literally a nightmare, and you know one of my big fears is a face staring at me through a window.
Yeah.
This is Ryan's Captain Log update. What time is it here? Holy moly, it's 2:43. Not much progress has been made here. Well, as you can see, now morning. We made it.
I don't think this place is haunted.
More than a century later, we are still trying to crack the Borden cold case. Last look at the Borden house. Perhaps one day we will know who committed the murders, but many believe that this case will forever be a victim to time and will always remain unsolved.
Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks, and when she saw...
Wait, what?
It's when she had saw. Well, we gotta start over now.
Yeah, okay.
Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her...
You're creepier than I am.
But you're smiling.
Okay. Did you hear footsteps above?
And the door's open.
Was it open before? Stay in there.
Wait a second. What are you doing?
Hang on.
Oh, no.
Shit.
All right, this is it. The infamous Dauphine Orleans Hotel.
This looks like a luxury hotel.
I wouldn't jump quickly to conclusions.
I mean...
Though we are entering through the valet parking lot.
Yeah, there's valet parking.
Right, whatever. Don't judge a book by its cover.
This is a hell of a cover. This place is beautiful.
All right, so this is us. Room 101. Going into the carriage house. We could just never stay anywhere nice.
I don't want to kill the vibe, but we could just turn lights on. This is a hotel.
Yeah.
You just want me to...
No. You're gonna scare the ghosts away.
That's not how that works.
It may, I don't know.
Look at the size of this bed.
You could definitely smell the age of this room.
Holy shit! It's a jacuzzi tub! Ryan, this is the best place we've ever cleared.
Stayed?
Ghost busted?
We've never ghost busted anywhere. This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate the Dauphine Orleans Hotel in New Orleans, Louisiana, as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real? Right now we're sitting in a hotel rich with interesting history and a cast of characters unlike anything we've seen thus far.
Like a ghost sitcom?
You could say that.
Sign me up. Let's do it.
Located a block away from the bustling Bourbon Street, the site of the Dauphine Orleans may date back as far as 1775, with parts of the hotel that exist today that were built in the early 1800s. Many of the buildings that today comprise the Dauphine Orleans Hotel used to be private residences, as well as a bordello. In fact, before 1898, brothels and gambling houses were said to spread across most of the city. A man by the name of Sidney Story created legislation that confined the city's sinful hobbies to a 16-block region, making prostitution and gambling legal within the confines of that area. Ironically, this 16-block precinct would be named after Sidney Story and was dubbed Storyville, a fact I'm sure he was far from pleased with.
What, he didn't like drinking or
He didn't like
debauchery?
sinful activities. He didn't like debauchery.
Well, he can go to hell.
He wouldn't have liked us on Bourbon Street the other day.
Oof. I don't even want to talk about that evening.
I stole them off a woman who died on the Titanic! Catch it in your head!
That's well covered
We can
ground.
never go
Right.
back there.
Yeah, we can never go back. It's said that Storyville was riddled with crime, sometimes at the hands of the prostitutes themselves. The hotel as a whole seems to be active. Visitors and employees claim that doors lock themselves shut. Footsteps can be heard. Shadows follow you.
Shadows do tend to follow you, though. That's sort of how they work.
During the Civil War, soldiers were said to stay on the premises often while recovering. There are multiple accounts of spirits of Civil War soldiers seen in different places in the hotel. However, the most haunted area of the hotel is undoubtedly the hotel bar, May Bailey's place, which was actually a well-known bordello at the edge of the aforementioned Storyville. Just think of all the activity that went down here back in the day. This place was booming with music.
Booming with some other stuff, too.
It was also booming with lots of other stuff. The madam of the bordello was May Bailey, and the original city license was issued in 1857 and still remains on display today. You have lovely penmanship, May. And there is, of course, the mayor.
Is his name Chad?
No, I don't. Oh shit, it may be Chad actually.
Were there Chads back then?
I don't know. Confederate soldiers are often seen near May Bailey's place, perhaps due to the fact that it was a brothel they frequented in the past. Most of the ghosts in the bar are said to be May's employees or ladies of the night.
Gentlemen have claimed that they feel somebody trying to touch their leg underneath the bar.
I was expecting something else considering the history.
Just leg, just leg.
Ryan is afraid of you. I think you should show him that you demand to be respected.
I do respect them.
Shh. I never knew this was that easy.
Fucking dick.
The previous bartender told me about the activity around the bathroom area, and they said that people would get locked in or out of the bathrooms, which sounds weird.
Is it like something's holding the door shut?
I'm not sure. I don't know how to explain it.
Okay, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna put it right here.
Okay. If there's anybody in here, now's the time to let us know.
Run! Jesus Christ! You set you set the thing on the sink and it moved.
Oh, was that what that was?
Yeah. Oh, that's all that's happening.
Let's put that there. Oh shit!
You gotta fucking calm down,
Shut
man.
up, Shane.
Another active area of May Bailey's is a little library section where a ghost is said to knock books off shelves.
Ghost 101. 1, knock book off shelf. Week 2, hold a candlestick in the middle of a hallway. 3, sheets.
You're just
Ghost
you're
number
just going
4.
through
What
the
we
Haunted
got?
Mansion in Disneyland.
No, I'm not.
All right, we're gonna leave now. Please don't follow me.
Follow me.
Great. Okay.
If you can't catch him here, just follow him home all the way to California.
Stop telling the ghost to follow me home.
He's got a... Did you hear footsteps up above?
Yeah, but there's no one up above.
Well, the bordello's up there. Did you hear? I
fucking heard a footstep. Well, let's just go up there and we'll find out, I guess.
Arguably the most horrifying part of the hotel is the Bordello Suite, which is upstairs in May Bailey's, a place where the girls would take patrons to perform services.
And the door's open.
Was it open before?
Nope.
Oh, fuck.
I do not like this room at all.
Many report feelings of unrest in here, and an employee that has worked at the hotel for over 30 years refuses to go in there to this day.
It's just another bathroom. Whoa. I got...
Does it stink?
No, I just got lightheaded.
Oh.
Okay, I'm getting out.
Wait, no, stay in there.
Wait, what?
Stay in there.
Wait a second, what are you doing?
Hang on.
Oh no, no.
Turn out your light.
Oh my God. Is there anybody in here with me?
And now Ryan is out there, and he's probably freaking out.
All right. Shane's doing his lockup in the... Oh boy. Oh God, my fucking light just died. God damn it. Turn back on, please. Please. Shane, is your lockout, is your lock-in done?
No, I've just got another 2 minutes.
Fuck, come back out. Come back out.
I've got 2 more minutes.
No.
This is one of the best days of my life.
We're good. Okay. Dude, I thought I saw something fly in front of me, but...
Huh?
It doesn't matter. Why I freaked out is because I thought something flew in front of me, but it may have just been the reflection of my light turning off.
If you don't want us to be here, send us a sign.
Why do you gotta phrase it like that?
That's just how I'm phrasing it.
I'm sorry I'm in here. Oh. Did your fucking light just turn out? Oh my God, I just got the fucking chills. God. Oh no.
This isn't even a mag light.
Oh God, I feel like I'm gonna cry. Was that you telling us to leave?
Hey, there it goes. It's fine. It's like full power. Ghost, I'm beginning to suspect that you're not real. Call it a hunch, but I've sat in a lot of dark rooms with this guy talking to the air.
Right after Shane speaks, our audio recorder picks up a voice possibly saying, "I'm right there."
But I've sat in a lot of dark rooms with this guy talking to the air.
Could this be one of the patrons of this former bordello?
Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a noise. I don't think it's compelling in the sense it doesn't sound like a voice.
Cool.
It also kind of goes right into your voice though, which makes me think you're just like...
When we both talk, it sounds so much different than our voices. So
take it if you want. You can have it.
I think it's saying, I'm right there. You think it's me breathing.
Yeah.
Another famous ghost at the hotel is said to be the younger sister of May Bailey, Millie. The story goes that Millie's fiance was shot in a gambling dispute on the morning of their wedding.
The morning before their wedding, and he's like, you know what I'll do? I'll get real drunk and go play some cards with some shady fellas.
I'm itching for the tables.
That's him getting killed.
Tell my wife I love her. Well, she's not my wife. Yeah.
Anyway.
It's said that Millie's grief consumed her as she continued to wear the wedding dress after the incident. Millie is reportedly seen in her dress by hotel guests to this day, earning her the name the Lost Bride of the Dauphine Orleans Hotel. Now it's time to move to the final phase of the investigation, spending the night in the hotel. As I mentioned before, some of the site's original structures still stand today, and the carriage rooms are the oldest part of the existing building. But more importantly, according to the hotel, the carriage rooms used to be an extended rear wing of May Bailey's, and chillingly was the part where May and her sister Millie actually lived.
May and Millie, we're gonna turn off the light now. Really, it's your time to run amok.
Oh, shit.
Did you just take a shit?
No, I didn't take a shit. I just realized what I've gotten myself into again. I hate this. Okay.
You know, a ghost has probably whispered point blank in your ear, but you probably never heard it because you were busy going,
okay, what did I do? Oh, Ryan, what did I do? What do? Oh, you always get yourself into these things.
Come out, rip my skull out of my head. Oh, pull my bones out and melt them in front of my face.
Are we doing more of this, or can I use the jacuzzi hot tub that we've been blessed with?
Are you serious?
Oh, are we gonna spend the night here and not use that?
The jets don't work. We're just two guys sitting in a tub. So how do you feel about sleeping here?
I'm delighted because this is the first place we've ever slept that has just a modicum of luxury.
This is luxury?
Yeah. Did you see the size of that bed?
Yeah, I saw the size of the bed.
We slept on a dirt floor on the Queen Mary.
It doesn't matter.
It was covered in rat hair.
It's true.
This is incredible.
This is fine. I'm still gonna have a hard time sleeping in that room. It's so dark in here. Did you see that? All right. Well, should we do this?
Yeah.
Holy
There's footsteps.
That's the balcony outside, right?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna go out there. I wanna see if someone's actually out there.
Oh, fuck. There's nobody out here.
Maybe there's somebody in those rooms? But I don't see any movement.
While listening for footsteps, we pick up a strange voice speaking something unknown.
Maybe this is a lost cause.
Is this the voice of May or Millie? Or perhaps one of the Civil War soldiers who frequented the bordello?
It sounds like someone swallowing, or like.
It sounds not even close to my voice. It's a different octave. It sounds like a machine almost. It's very electronic. There's so many different things and properties about that voice that would prove it's not me. It almost sounds like there's a TV on.
You make it sound like you're listening to a recording of Pavarotti. It's a tiny little click noise.
Look, listen to it again. It's a voice and it's electronic. I don't know what it's saying.
Is it Daft Punk?
It's not, yes, Daft Punk. The DJ's Daft Punk came into our suite at night and gave me a little ditty. That's what happened.
Holy shit. This is insane. It's fucking 5:15 in the morning.
Oh my god, I got fucking chills. Is this not alarming to you, Shane? What the fuck?
No.
Jesus. Between Shane snoring and this goddamn ghost. Gonna kill somebody.
A nice morning sky. Let's leave. What if we find out that there's actually nobody even staying above us?
I don't know, Ryan. This place is strange.
After, Shane returned to our normal hotel down the street, but I was still bewildered by the footsteps, so I stayed back to investigate the only 2 rooms above our hotel room, only one of which was occupied.
Hi, I just had a quick question. I'm staying downstairs, under you, and just out of curiosity, did you happen to be walking around? Oh, okay, I'm a little spooked. I thought it was...
Yeah, we've been a little spooked too, but we've been there about 2-3 days now, so now you got to talk to the front desk.
Well, there you have it. He wasn't walking, and not only was he not walking, he's been spooked too because he's wondering where the creaking and walking is coming from. Well.
Was he not pacing?
Not only was he not pacing, but he said, yeah, we've been staying here the past couple days. I've been pretty freaking spooked.
I bet he was just embarrassed.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He was probably pacing around. It's a ghost, Ryan. You're right. There's a ghost marching around for 7 hours. Non-stop.
Yes, because that's what ghosts do. That's it? That's all you have to say for yourself?
I think that man was just walking around, Ryan.
Okay, I'm gonna take the camera away from your stupid face. It's worth mentioning that after this investigation, I spoke to a New Orleans ghost tour guide about hauntings at the Dauphine, and she mentioned an angry Confederate soldier who walks around all night long and even stomps. Was this possibly the source of the footsteps that I heard in our room that night? Given the rich history of this hotel, it's no wonder that many feel the numerous presences that once frequented these halls. And after spending a sleepless night there, I won't argue that something is off at the Dauphine Orleans Hotel. But whether or not it's definitively haunted will remain unsolved.
It's not haunted.
How do you know that?
I know it's not haunted.
You don't know that for sure.
It's not haunted.
You say that everywhere we go.
And guess what?
You're like a stupid string puppet that I could just bring along with me, and I'd just pull it when I want to hear some dumb...
It's not haunted. Ryan's an idiot.
Okay, that's all I know that.
We gotta merchandise those things.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we discussed the incendiary and baffling death of Mary Reeser, who media later labeled as the Cinder Woman.
Incendiary?
Yeah, incendiary.
You can go around with a $5 word like that.
That's not a $5 word.
Oh, yeah.
Stick around for the last theory because it's something we've never discussed before on this show. So, let's get into it.
Spoiler alert, it's probably aliens.
On July 2nd, 1951, in St. Petersburg, Florida, Mary Hardy Reeser was visited by her son in the evening at her apartment. Mary told her son that she had taken 2 Seconal tablets, a drug commonly used to calm patients before surgery, and was possibly planning on taking 2 more before bed.
Bad idea. Did she have a prescription for them?
No, she did not. However, her son was actually a doctor.
I'm considering him a suspect.
Why
her
would she
son's
kill?
feeding her sedatives.
He didn't feed her
Yeah,
sedatives.
he's like, go on, mother.
Jesus
Eat these
Christ.
pills.
You just made this go so much more dark than it needed to
Well,
be.
I just don't trust this boy. Yeah, have some pills, smoke this cigarette. Good night.
He visited her. She told him these things. If it was truly alarming, he probably would have said, hey, maybe don't do that.
Okay.
Or he's just a terrible doctor.
Later that night, Mary would fall asleep sitting in her upholstered chair for the last time, as Mary would become the victim of an apparent house fire. The next morning, Mary's landlady would report smelling smoke at 5 a.m., but it wasn't until 8 a.m. when the landlady was on her way to deliver a telegram to Mary that she noticed the smell of smoke again. She discovered soot in the hallway that led to Mary Reeser's apartment. When she went to touch the door handle, it was too hot for her to grab, so the landlady enlisted the help of nearby house painters who made their way into the apartment.
This is a very irresponsible landlady. If your tenants' apartments smell like smoke,
I mean, okay,
maybe check in on them.
This is gonna get a little morbid, but who's to say that a burning body doesn't smell like barbecue?
Yeah, it probably does.
So
hey, meat's meat.
Maybe they thought, oh man, someone's making bacon. Maybe I'll do the same. I'm just saying, I don't think it's weird that she didn't immediately jump into action at 5 a.m.
Well, okay.
What they discovered would simultaneously horrify and confound the Tampa Bay area. Inside the apartment, they found the cremated remains of Mary Reeser. Mary's skull had reportedly shrunk to the size of a cup.
That doesn't make any sense.
How does that? No, of course it doesn't make sense. It's weird.
Has any skull shrunk at any other point in history?
Oh man, see now you're asking the right questions. Now you're acting like a detective and not like a jackass.
Well, at least one of us is doing it.
Parts of Reeser's spine also remained, but perhaps the most gruesome was Reeser's left foot, still in its black satin slipper, the skin unburned. the rest of Mary's remains had been completely cremated.
Her legs were the size of little tiny teaspoons.
You don't think it's weird that all of her was gone except for a skull, parts of the spine, and a fucking foot that is still completely intact like nothing happened?
Maybe she was like, you know, I always sit up with one of my feet up on the...
Oh, so you're saying that she was like sleeping back in like a comfy state, like a talk show kind of state?
Like a talk show, like George Clooney on The Tonight Show. I bet if George Clooney was on The Tonight Show and you set him on fire, one of his feet would burn, and the other one would probably still be planted there on the floor in a very nice shoe. Clooney's flammable.
Clooney is probably flammable, you're probably right.
However, what makes this case bizarre is the condition of Mary's surroundings. According to cremation experts, for Mary's body to be cremated, the body would have to burn at 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit for 3 to 4 hours. Yet somehow, other than the chair that Mary sat in, the surrounding area, as well as the apartment in general, seemed relatively unaffected by a fire that was at least 3,000 degrees. In the corner where the fire occurred, the nearby walls were not damaged, showing no signs of scorching or cracked paint. The upper walls and ceiling were blackened from soot and smoke, but the lower half of the apartment was not. Light switches were melted, but outlets below were intact and functioning. Candles on a nearby windowsill had melted, but their wicks stood upright. A stack of newspapers in close proximity were undamaged. Neighbors to Mary's apartment were also somehow unaware of this fire. Firemen who came on the scene found the heat so intense that they, quote, couldn't stand it, end quote, but also found no signs of smoldering.
So a fire that was too hot for firemen did not damage her apartment somehow.
Too much fire here. What do I look like, a fireman?
Detective Chief Cass Burgess described the case as perplexing. Dr. Wilton M. Krogman, professor of physical anthropology at the University of Pennsylvania, was, quote, amazed and baffled, as he could not, quote, conceive of such a complete cremation without more burning of the apartment itself. Dr. Krogman also stated that in his 30-plus fire investigations, he had never seen a skull shrink like Mary's had. The skulls normally become swollen or explode. Investigators sent samples of the chair, rug, debris, and smoke to an FBI laboratory for chemical analysis. However, the investigation did not find traces of combustibles. What they did find was melted fat in the rug.
Soot in a foot. That's all they got, huh? Soot, foot, and a cup skull.
That's a bizarro version of a Dr. Seuss book right there.
All this leads us to perhaps the most mysterious detail of the case, the cause of the fire. A local mattress company pointed out the regular chair stuffing would not cause such a fire. The material would merely smolder for a prolonged period. Lightning or electrical failure was also ruled out on the scene. However, the night before, Mary was reportedly seen smoking a cigarette in that chair. With that in mind, the FBI and police believe that the fire most likely started because Mary fell asleep while smoking a cigarette, which possibly led to her lighting her nightgown on fire. This would enact something known as the wick effect, where clothes act as a wick, setting fire to the body. The FBI felt that, quote, once the body became ignited, almost complete destruction occurred from its own fatty tissues, end quote. At the time, Mary weighed about 170 pounds.
Well, if there's no cigarette found, that's fine, because
it would be incinerated.
Yeah, it would be soot.
But, I mean, you would think they would fall on the floor, maybe. The foot didn't catch on fire.
The foot did not catch on fire. One of them, anyway. That other one? Whew.
Yeah, it does so.
Up like Christmas.
At a glance, that scenario seems plausible, but is certainly not definitive. Here are some alternate theories as to how the fire started. The first theory is ridiculous.
I'm just gonna say that right out. It's ridiculous.
I've never heard you just
I know,
flat out.
For me to say it's ridiculous.
This is a first.
Detective Burgess received a letter addressed to the chief of detectives that said, quote, a ball of fire came through the open window and hit her. I seen it happen, end quote.
I don't trust anyone who says, I seen it happen. That sounds like a country bumpkin if I've ever heard one. I seen it.
I seen it happen.
I seen it with my own 2 eyes.
There's something we can agree on. I don't think this is a credible source.
The second theory is that the fire was started purposefully. Some suggest that the fire could have been caused by thermite bombs, kerosene, magnesium and phosphorus, and napalm. But according to the coroner of the case, all of those would leave a distinct odor, none of which were detected at the scene. The third and final theory is that Mary was a victim of spontaneous human combustion. Let's dive into the history of spontaneous human combustion. Allegedly, there have been roughly 200 recorded cases of spontaneous combustion.
200?
Roughly 200.
Okay, all right. So it's just maybe
Quite
a
a few.
thing then, okay.
I mean, these are alleged cases or reported cases.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's a lot of cases.
Well, okay, keep going.
Okay. The earliest case of spontaneous human combustion dates back to 1470 in Milan, Italy, when Polonius Forstius died by bursting into flames after a night of drinking. His gruesome death was recorded in 1641 by Thomas Bartholin, a Danish mathematician and doctor.
Can you imagine just being out, having a good night with your pals drinking? And you know, toward the end of the night when you're like, yeah, what a fun night this has been. Can you imagine just exploding? Just catching on fire? All your pals would be like, huh?
Immediate buzzkill. I
Yeah.
could say that.
Not a good night.
No, I think we could both agree on
For
that.
him or his friends.
In 1745, the Countess Cornelia Bandi of Cesena, Italy, was found burnt to a pile of ashes with only her legs intact. Skipping forward to modern times, in 1982, the family of Jean Saffin claimed they saw her burst into flames in her London home. In 2010, a coroner claimed spontaneous human combustion to be the cause of death of 76-year-old Irishman Michael Faherty, who was found in his home with none of his surroundings badly tarnished. And of course, Mary Reeser, who many believe is a victim of spontaneous human combustion.
Is it very European to burst into flames?
I don't think incendiary behavior is exclusive to Europe because she happened in Florida.
I know, I'm just saying Europe.
Put that pen down, you just look like a jackass.
A lot of people explode in Europe.
Stop it, put it down.
Something you want to look into. This runs deep.
Now let's get into the science of spontaneous human combustion. The human combustion process involves internal fluids turning into gas and the melted fat of the body further burning organs and bones. If you'll recall, fat was found in the rug at the scene of Mary Reeser's death. Some consider the possibility of spontaneous human combustion to be questionable, since the body is made up to 70% of water, though there are components of the body that are flammable, such as body fat and methane gas. Unproven theories as to why the body would ignite so easily include static electricity, bacteria, stress, obesity, and alcohol consumption. Some also believe that human cells may reach a heightened state of vulnerability to ignite. In 2012, in an issue of New Scientist magazine, biologist Brian J. Ford theorizes that a large concentration of acetate in the body may contribute to spontaneous combustion. Acetone buildup could result from alcohol intake, variations in diet, and diabetes. Cases of spontaneous combustion typically contain these three characteristics. Surroundings of the site of the fire are not drastically damaged. There is no visible source of the fire. And finally, parts of the body are left intact and adjacent to the ashes. All of these were present in Mary Reeser's case.
When I think spontaneous combustion, I think like, bam, like a pop balloon, just little shards of person just exploding.
No, I think what you should be thinking is someone just immediately lighting on fire like that asshole in Fantastic Four.
Now, what do you have against him?
Oh, I hate that movie. The movie sucks.
It's not a good movie. Spontaneous doesn't mean instantaneous.
When does something spontaneously happen slowly?
A spontaneous tornado came twirling over the mountain.
This thought you're having right now is not very spontaneous.
No, it's certainly not.
Another perplexing detail is why Mary, along with other suspected victims of spontaneous human combustion, do not try and escape their death or in any way indicate that they are on freaking fire. The lack of evidence of fighting for one's life is potentially damning in regards to the cigarette theory.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if my clothes are on fire, I'll do a little dance to try and get them out, stop, drop, and roll, what have you.
I think the only thing I could think of is by the time they're on fire, they're dead already because they combusted. That would perhaps explain why no one's running around the room.
Yeah, maybe she just passed out or died or something.
If this was the only isolated case, that may be. But there's every one of these, the surroundings aren't damaged and they're just contained to the little small area. I don't think she could have sat still while she was cremated. I think being on fire would wake anybody up.
Dr. Krogman is quoted as saying about the case, quote, "They say truth is stranger than fiction, and this case apparently proves it. I've never heard of anything like it," end quote.
Who's this, Dr. Rod Serling? Sounds like he's hosting an episode of The Twilight Zone.
I mean, it was quite profound, and I found it poetic.
I've never had a doctor speak to me like that.
Well, wouldn't you want to?
If I showed up and a doctor just started unraveling strange little tales.
They say truth is stranger than fiction. So
Cool, just give me a physical,
You're gonna
doc.
give me some ibuprofen, or?
There's no definitive answer to what happened to Mary Reeser. Did she simply set herself on fire in an unfortunate accident involving a cigarette? Was she a victim of the controversial spontaneous human combustion? Or perhaps the answer lies within something we haven't discovered yet. For now, the unfortunate case of Mary Reeser remains unsolved. Some believe there's so many cases of this happening in such contained, confines of the blast radius. The answer could lie with extraterrestrial origin.
What if aliens just get drunk and fly around the universe and
are just
shrink
assholes.
people's skulls and turn them into little piles
I mean,
of
yeah,
ash?
you could see how aliens would be involved in kind of like shenanigans and like being hooligans like that.
Bodies are weird. I made a little flip book of that's her exploding. Ah, that's a fireball.
All right. Well, I'll leave you here.
Okay.
You're ridiculous.